Yeah, my chat knows. We're official over here now, so there's no spoilers to begin with. We are live. All right.
What's up, y'all?
What's
you know
up,
what time
everybody?
it is? It's about to be that
What's
time.
up, guys? Yeah. So, welcome to Theory for Theory. We have returning guest, the Kingu of Lightning. Hold on, they can't hear you. Hold on. What's going on here? Let's see. We got to fix that. No sound coming for you here. Give me a test.
Hello.
There we go. All right. Cool.
All right,
Yep. So we'll take that again. We are here with the Kingu of Lightning.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's good? All right, we're glad to be here again on the Randy Troy channel, on the Savage channel, spitballing some crazy, wonky, zany ideas. Talk about some One Piece greatness across the board, whether it's live action, whether it's in the anime, whether it's in the manga. We're here for it, bro. We're here for it, bro. Absolutely, without a doubt.
The last time we did a one-on-one here was just about a year ago.
Yep.
At that time, you know, you were one of the most requested guests to get in to start spitballing, and the people wanted you back.
Yo, man, much love to the people, bro. Yo, I'm always glad to be here to support some agendas. You know what it is. The Moon agenda, forever strong. I don't care. Nobody says. Shut up. We're going there. But after Elbaf, of course. But yeah, absolutely. Right now I'm on the Kuma's going to smack the living crap out of Jay Garcia Saturn. That's my agenda right now. That's my agenda. Let's go.
What's happening? He's on the way.
Bro.
He's got
my god.
He's got a whole vendetta. But you know,
am I still the Church of Katakuri on Sunday. So I see someone Jacob. I see Jacob in chat. Katakuri, that's right, Sunday week, of course. All right. So as the head pastor, I pulled up with the white garb too. I'm ready to go. Katakuri all day. Yeah.
Hey, church is in session.
Oh man. But real quick, I just want to say, if I saw you at MLIC, then yo, good stuff, because it was a great event over there. At least I went there on Friday. Just Friday. It was really cool seeing like a lot of cosplayers, seeing a lot of people across the scene on TikTok, YouTube, other platforms, other content creators. It was really, really damn dope. Had a great time talking to a bunch of people, talking to Preach, talking to Par, Ohime, Tanuki, all of them about like just One Piece content. That was great.
Yeah, I was gonna ask who all pulled up.
Good stuff.
I said, yeah, I was gonna ask who all pulled up.
Oh yeah, man, it was a lot of people because we had like a large group coming in, because it was me, it was Par, it was Hidden, it was Preach, it was Dak. It was a few of the cats too that pulled up from like the YouTube side of things. Ohime and Tanuki are like One Piece content creators that are TikTokers, so they pulled up too. That was a fun time. Par and his kid and his wife, they all had like, you should have seen it. On Friday they had they had Zoro's family, right? So little baby Par was Zoro. This man was like Zoro's dad. I was like
we don't even know what's his name, Pinzoro. We don't even know what he looks like.
Yeah, like one of those dudes. And then his wife was Terra, all right, Zoro's mom. So I'm like, who? No one knows who you are, bro. It's insane. Like the actual literal Zoro like clan pulled up. No one knew who they were, but it was cute. They had a little. Am I tripping right now? Okay, never mind. Sorry. Yeah, I heard music in the background. But they had like a little binky that was like a sword, and so he had two other swords too.
Nah.
Yeah, it was super cute. It was super cute. Yeah, that's part of those pictures. It was extra cute, man.
Yeah,
So
I love that.
I would say one of the best cosplays I've seen was actually Par and his family, because there was the only Zoro family that are there. And then one guy, if you watch Overlord, one guy had a dope Ein Dual Gal, like huge cosplay, like had like, I don't know about stilts, but had like these like giant platformers, massive, like Ein Dual Gal Overlord cosplay. It was hella impressive. Oh my god. Oh. But yeah, it was a great time, bro. Perfect. It was a great time. Like, people pulled up with energy. Good Naruto cosplays, good One Piece cosplays. There was the One Piece cosplay event. One was at a quote unquote brewery. It was actually a taco joint. They lied. Hard lies, bro. Hidden away somewhere in some building somewhere in New York. Walked around, like, probably lost, I want to say, like a pound or two just walking around, bro. Oh my god, the legs were shot.
Well, I don't think we were losing anything at Anime Expo because we couldn't even move.
Bro, we were gaining body heat. That's what we were gaining.
Yeah.
Like, New York Comic Con and MMIC, I would say, are just way better organized than Anime Expo. The Expo,
that was a mess.
I don't know what they do over there. It's just it's bad.
Like,
I love it, but yo, you guys have to work on your shit. Nah.
I mean,
look,
I know I'm West Coast now, but you don't have to say you guys. I'm still a New Yorker.
Yeah. Hard. I love you, but you live over there. You're with them now, right? Like, you've traded clanship now, bro. You're with the guys that go to the expos or go to cons over there, and you're just like, yeah, sir. Yeah, I'm just gonna waddle my way in there. Yeah, don't mind me. No, hell no. Shout out to Matt Owens, bro. Never again, bro. Oh my god. I'm going back next year.
I went to a con called Anime Pasadena out here, and that one was pretty good. It was low key. It was walkable. It was,
okay.
Yeah, and it was cool. Saw some really interesting cosplays. Like I saw a Miss Golden Week.
Huh?
Like.
Oh.
They were digging deep. Like some of these. So like an excellent live action Buggy. Ran into Volume 1 out there. They were Mihawk and Perona.
That's dope. That's actually pretty cool. That's actually pretty cool. People are actually surprising with the cosplays and like the touch of the detail. I saw a Pell. I was like, what? I put on Twitter too. I'm like, is that a Pell? Like, she was a decked out Pell. She said that Pell is like her favorite character design in One Piece. So she pulled it as Pell, which was very impressive. And we didn't see Miss Golden Week, but we saw a Mr. Golden Week. Like, this dude came out
gender bent Golden Week. Okay.
Yeah. Bro, this dude was yoked out.
Got hit with
Golden Week, bro.
Ivankov's fruit. Okay.
No, if Ivanka was next to them, that would have been actually like a nasty play. That would have been a crazy play. But yeah, no, they had the whole everything. Maybe not the heels, but they had everything else. So they were on point. And Gear 5s. Impressive Gear 5s.
Oh, a ton of Gear 5s. So a ton of Gear 5s. Like, that was... Yep. Yeah.
Like, some folks had like light ups, like Christmas lights, but like that were flashing white, like in like the smoke rings behind them. Like, that's actually... People are impressed with the cosplays nowadays, man. Oh my god.
Shout out to our boy Dak Sake in the chat. Remember, for 5 months said, hey Cole, Shanks versus the 5 Gorosei, who wins?
Bro! Oh my god. Yo, hit him with a PSA about that on his Twitter.
I did see that.
Yeah. And he posted a video too, actually. I reminds me, and he posted a video of that because we had a video. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a stack, bro. Shanks. God King. I'm gonna say Shanks. Listen.
I mean, in theory, where we are right now, we've only seen one of them do anything, and that's Shanks. I'm not talking about the Gorosei. I'm not talking about Saturn being here. We just saw him transform. He hasn't really done anything yet. So
what do you listen?
Maybe, but I mean,
I'm thinking. Oh, okay. So do you want to get to the stuff now or later? I guess we do now. If you want to do it now, like also for the future of the story and the chapter content stuff, because now we're gonna get like the whole theory game, right? That's over here. Theory for theory. All right, let's live to the namesake here.
Yeah. So just to recap everybody in the chat here. Okay, so Cole was here a year ago. So we just had a year of peak. Maybe someone could argue that One Piece's greatest year, but it's definitely top 5. It's definitely top 5. Like, with all of the content that we had, all of the characters that came back, and on top of just being a fan, we had the live action too. So it was a great year for One Piece in general. But as far as like the content that we haven't discussed together, is everything from Garp saying he was going to Hachinosu, all of the Hachinosu stuff, all of the Reverie stuff. The last time we talked, we didn't even know Saturn was going to come to Egghead.
Right.
So, you know, there's a lot to get into, especially the Kuma flashback, which I'm sure we're going to touch on here.
We will. There's a little bit, I think, too much dragon slander. I don't know. That's come from me. Like, oh man.
but yeah. Let's see. And then DJBJ32 said, "Yo, what's good, Captain? What's good, Cole?" My guy. Canadian Schnitzy said, "With Luffy's Haki, could Robin kill Dofi?" That's wild. Why would?
Oh, whoa.
I mean,
Robin with Haki, people have been salivating for that for like decades now, bro. Like ever since Haki existed, like people want Robin to have Rokushiki skills.
I want Rokushiki. That's what I was just gonna say. Like
Rokushiki,
forget
Shigon Robin.
I need Shigon Robin. I've needed it since 2005.
That idea is awesome. It's a crazy idea. And then it's funny how instead she pulls with the Fisherman Karate.
Right. Yeah. That's the reversal. Speaking of reversals, did you watch yesterday's anime episode? Yep.
Oh no, actually I did not, because I'm watching it on Monday. But I did see the trailer. I did see that there was filler. And I think to me that's a good sign. All right. I don't know what they showed, but I can just imagine that they did added things that help clarify certain characters' decisions, or let's say
the whole episode is filler. It's all anime canon, and it fixed a lot of my problems with Wano.
Good.
It fixed a lot of problems with Wano, like, because you build up all of these characters and everything, and you don't give them any sort of satisfying conclusion. So this episode was really, it's just every scene is a different goodbye, right?
I don't know if Zoro's grave scene's there with Ryoma. Don't tell me if it isn't. I'm gonna find out. But even still, if that's not there, when you have a proper conclusion, when it's just, oh hey, like, because like we're pirates, we're just gonna peace, kind of like, let's say in a similar way to what we saw in Skypiea, but it was kind of done way worse. Where at least in Skypiea, we have this dope ass party, everyone's kind of chilling. We have we see the Shawnees and Skypiea like locking up with the whole buddy, and then so it was way more satisfying in Skypiea compared to, let's say, Wano Country, where with Wano Country it was like we skip it for like a few days ahead, and then let's just leave, and then we're already setting up. We already set our goodbyes off screen, of course, with the exception of Kinemon and Momonosuke, and so it's like Kama just gets a little thing, no? Eerie just isn't,
Without getting into the Zoro bit of it, it is the best part of the episode.
Good. That's on you see.
And it's a little unexpected, like, but it's exactly what it needed to be, and that's what I was going to get into. But I'm gonna let you watch that on Monday.
Yeah, please.
So,
but I'll say overall though, right? Just would you say that the anime has done a better job with Wano Country than Oda did in the manga?
In certain respects, yes. In certain respects, no. I mean, it's a case by case basis. Like, this last episode, it's a hard yes that the anime did better. And there's other elements, like they added more context to Kiku and Kanjuro fighting. Like,
okay. Ooh, okay.
Oda skipped right past that. It was just like, hey, we're gonna fight. It seemed really tense, but we had no basis for it because Conqueror only had a relationship really with Kinemon and Momonosuke at that point. So we just met Kiku. So it's like, why do you get to be the one that's going to fight against Conqueror? So they added a whole scene talking about their past and getting into their like relationship over the years, and it was just like, okay, now this works. So like that kind of stuff helps. I wish I would love to get into more specifics about the episode that you're going to watch, but it's like the animation, obviously, you know, they had like crazy things going on, especially towards the end and in the finale. A lot of that stuff was just wild. Like you know, the Gear 5 stuff was you know, for the most part, really well done. The early roof piece stuff didn't hit as much for me. Too much aura piece.
Oh my god.
You like the aura? You like the aura?
I'm a huge fan of the aura. I support it through. I'm like, yes. I stand up with the aura. I am an aura piece simp, bro. Simp. All right. I understand that people are like against the idea because, well, it's A, too much like Dragon Ball Z, quote unquote, and then B, the idea is that it's not necessarily true to like One Piece fighting format. But I feel like when you think about how these sort of moments were talked about, they were all over Twitter, all over Instagram. That was kind of the point where it's like, you want to have a lot more of these bombastic, a lot more of these creative, let the animators have their fun. Like I remember Henry Thurlow, one of the animators at that point in time, was arguing with people online on Twitter, like, yo, like there's too much GBZ piece. And he's like, I don't care, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do. And he's doing some of the best scenes in the entire like anime. And I feel like when people say things like, oh, well, One Piece, quote unquote, has bad fights, particularly compared to like other greater shonens, like in terms of fights like Bleach or Naruto, I'm like, nah, bro, Wano Country. No, there's no way. Shut up.
I need consistency though, because it's like, are there times where I was on board with the aura? Yeah, there were some times where it felt warranted and it was justified and it was good, like Zoro versus Killer, Kamazo.
Yeah.
Like when they put the aura on that was some stank and I liked it. But it was like when we were in the Odin flashback and you just have like Ashura Doji auraing up, like, and it, you know, and it's like I'm sorry, I don't need that. And you know,
but you can't deny it was better in the anime than the manga. In the manga, we don't even see it.
I don't need him auraing up. No, that was better in the. That was a situation where it was better in the manga.
Bro, there's no way. When
Robin,
you don't see anything.
When Robin auraed up, just standing in front of Black Maria, I was like, nah, that was
dope.
Nah, like if she's doing an attack, sure, but just standing there and then like glowing, I'm like, this is no.
Yes.
No. Yes. Agree to disagree, brother.
We can,
agree
but
to disagree.
Because it's like, think about it. It's like Robin doesn't have a fight for like 25 years. And then we finally get a Robin fight. And then they pull all the stops. Now Toshi Shida is going hard with Robin's Demonio Fleur form.
Which was great. Which was amazing. I'm only talking about the scene where she just pulled up. Just
like
just
she
when
has
she
the
pulled
stance, and she has that pink aura around her.
Yeah,
and
I was
she
like,
has, the little shot. I'm like,
yeah, nah, that didn't work for me. But everything with Demonio Fleur and the way they went about that, like that was great.
So but in place of the auras, like what do you get normally in the past? Normally in the past, what do we get? We get like just the characters staring at each other menacingly, right? You have the particle effects. Like the no. Like, that's all we get, Randy. It's like, come on. If you have the aura, at least there's something there for the dead time where it's like, okay, at least they're kind of like, they're initiating their powers to engage in combat in some visible, meaningful way. Not just pose up and have particles in the atmosphere. It's like, what is this?
Look, my whole thing is I know that I know that the animation teams have changed and moved out and switched around and everything, but it's like, how can you watch Wano Country with all of these auras and everything and then go back to Marineford and not see a single aura and you're dealing with the best of the best scrapping? And it's like, it's that consistency thing that I just can't get my head across. And And that's the problem. That's the disconnect. Is it cool? Sometimes, I mean, like King versus Zoro, excellent.
Yeah.
Like way better than the manga. The manga for that fight did not really work for me. The anime version elevated it. It was
most of the fights are better across the board. I think that you literally had Big Mom and Big Mom versus Law and Kid. Excellent. I thought was outstanding.
Excellent.
I love Sanji versus Queen. I thought that was fantastic.
Feet on feet.
Luffy versus Kaido was nuts, bro. I mean, I would say that's like the best fight I've ever seen this year.
1073.
Particularly, 1074. That's the one.
Is it 1073 1074 when he's like swinging around on the lightning and all that? I thought that was 1073.
Yes, no, that was 1074. Those 3 minutes of just some of the best choreography I've ever seen in my life, in tandem with the potential of what like Gear 5 could be, where he makes like the entire clown to a rubber bouncy ball, grabs lightning, has these crazy spaghetti strings around him with lightning. He hurls my Kaido. Kaido's jumping around like Mario. Like, hey, here's about like, hey, guess what, kid? Haki. I'm like, bro, there's no. The impact frames, no, bro. The finale with he has the crazy lens flare. He disperses the lighting. I'm like, no, bro. I mean, like, even when you have Luffy going Gear 5 for the first time, when you have the sort of zany, over the top, you have the sound effects, you have the beat, you have Luffy tweaking out like he just smoked crack that day. You have like literally he's grabbing the ground, his body's elasting, like he comes like a mouth, then an eyes, then like a ball. Then I'm like, bro, no. Like he becomes Sonic. In terms of the fight choreography, of course, only anime can, let's say, get to that kind of stuff and make it more prestige compared to the manga. And the manga are going to do so much. Fair enough. But Gear 5 has so much potential to just do all these crazy, zany things. And the anime, I think, in Wano Country, they maximize that. But even outside of that, when they do things like way before, I think in 2021, when Kaido hallucinates fight against Luffy on the rooftop, I'm like, bro, yo, this is a phenomenal. Like, by default, that made the fight better compared to the manga version. When he just hallucinates fighting against Luffy on the rooftop, and he realized, damn, I got way too heated. Not in the anime, in the manga, where it's like, it doesn't happen. Yeah, bro. Like, is the anime like, does the manga have better things in the anime at times? Yeah, I'll say for sure it does. But I think overall, I think just like universally, the anime was better. I think if I were to rate Wano Country, I'd put like the anime version like a full tier ahead. Honestly, like honest to God, I would. I'll be honest.
Hey,
it was heat.
I agree with you. There were some things like I thought that Luffy's Shoryuken, when he comes in and he hits Kaido, that didn't work for me. That didn't work for me.
With the golden Haki aura.
Yeah. I mean, like, I love that they brought, like, the music was great and everything, but I feel like it didn't have the weirdly enough, it didn't have the impact of the manga. That one thing.
Really?
So yeah. I mean, look, here we're talking about things like I've already said things that were good things, and there's things that didn't work as well. It's like that's one of the things. Like for all of the 1073, 1074s, for all of the Zoro versus Kings, you have that uppercut scene, and it's like that's just not doing it. You got Ashura Doji ordering up. These are things that didn't work. But the overall level and everything, if I had to say to somebody, if they said, should I watch or read Wano, I would tell them to watch it.
Thank you.
Or at the very least, I would say if you read it, you definitely need to watch 1084. It's mandatory. Like,
oh, this episode. So this episode filler is mandatory. That's mandatory.
Oh, it's mandatory. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I mean, now to be fair too, I would say like when you have certain episodes, like I think it's episode 1025, the Megumi Shitani one, when she, I think it was 1015.
1015.
Yeah. When she has, I think there's several of them. 1015, like 992, like when they have the mugs on the ground when they're going to Onigashima near that Torii gate.
Yeah, they're like 980, 982, something like that.
Yeah. When the Chichibukai, when they pull up and they're like, okay, like we're no longer a group, but doesn't matter. Like we're strong. Like Boa's flexing, Miyaka's flexing hard.
Yeah, that was 956, 957. That's my favorite episode of the series now. Like the first episode she did.
Oh yeah,
those transitions were insane.
They were, but I mean, dude, something about just seeing Luffy and that Roger merger in 10-15, I'm like, bro, this is it, bro. Like, this is bro. Like that was unconsciously godly.
Oh, it was great. It was great.
I feel like that to me was like the pinnacle One Piece. That's 10-15. In terms of animation, in terms of pace, in terms of structure, like everything was just so well organized. But I agree that everything that she's done so far, I think has been just outstanding. And Toei made that possible. Like the anime made that possible. And there are certain moments where it's like you have to really kind of step back and appreciate how Toei before, they weren't necessarily, they weren't bad in terms of animation. Like they could have done a lot better. They had, like, there were moments like Katakuri gets Luffy where the animation uptakes a lot at the end, particularly, which is like outstanding. When he goes Steak Man, you have the Sanji when he fights against Luffy. Those were some great moments right there. Do versus Luffy, the first Gear 4. They had moments, but they weren't like it. And I kind of felt like they started to realize you need to have that, at least when you can, that Sakuga, that crazy animation, that amazing pace, that amazing feel, because other series were doing, I think, a really good job of that. Like Demon Slayer, JJK, they were like kicking ass for that kind of stuff. And I think they adjusted Wano Country. And I mean, even off the rip, when Wano Country has Zoro do that, huge ass tornado, when he fights with all those fodder samurai, like almost immediately we come to the scene and it's like Wano Country is super different and it's amazing. I don't think it maintain in the future because Egghead needs like sauce, man. It needs like extra sauce, bro. Like I want to see Law and Whitebeard go at it. Like, I need to see them have back and forths like crazy. I need to see Garp and Kuzan. Don't skip on that. I need to see Garp and Kuzan go hard, bro. Like Luffy and Rob Lucci. I need to see Shanks have a Dragon Ball Z Budokai dramatic finish, bro. That's what I want to see. I want to see some nutty activity. Don't fuck with me, bro. Yo, shout out to the Aussies. I'm praying, bro. I'm praying.
Let's hope they get in there. I need to. All of the thing I'm looking for is we're like 2 episodes away from the Cross Guild.
Yeah. It's time.
Like, I need to see my boy Crocodile. Saucy.
Crocodile.
Like when he comes in and fights the Marines, like give him a whole like back and forth with Stainless, or like make it a one-hit KO. Like show that my man is a nearly $2 billion man right now.
If they do the Haki on the sand, it's over. It's like, yeah, he's here. He's here. It's not like crazy sickle hardened sand, like it's black. Oh, it's over. No.
I'm calling the Church of Crocodile for that episode. Like I'm that's gonna be a spiritual event.
Crocodile is such a fascinating case. He has such a crazy resurgence. Like, this guy lost to Luffy in the pre-time skip early on. And Oda just said, yeah, he came out too early in the story, fair enough. But to have him come out with a bounty higher than King the Wildfire, that's like a nutty resurgence. It's like, whoa. Like that, in terms of the power scale, it's like, bro, what is happening? Like, Crocodile? Like, this man shot through the roof. Luffy, in terms of just notoriety, because he had no other choice.
Luffy got lucky. Oh, he got lucky. Yeah.
4 times. Yeah, the third time. I don't know the third time. No, third time was like
Crocodile's always been this nice. He just didn't. I it's the only way I can justify it. He was underestimating Luffy.
Cats would say what about Haki though? Cats always say what about Haki. Like, why did he struggle so much? Haki.
I mean, look, Oda definitely peppered early ideas for Haki into Alabasta. Like, everything with Zoro, Haki.
True.
Like that,
True.
like, and like every form of it. The only way he beat Das Bones, Haki. At the end of the arc, he's saying, I got to figure out how to tap into that power again. What power is he talking about?
The Lion song, yeah.
Yeah, like, he pulled something different out when he...
I'd agree.
You know, so that feels there. When, you know, I'm reading into ellipses and all of that, but when Water Luffy punches Crocodile for the first time, he's like, does he have ... Like, Crocodile doesn't finish the sentence.
Mm-hmm.
But he says, does he have ... after he gets hit? Like, I'm reading into it.
Okay. I mean, you could argue that we did see signs of at least not armament, but opposition Haki probably in Little Garden, maybe, or like Luffy can sense somehow Mr. 3 from all those clones. Like, how do you do that? Like
instinct, yeah, that wasn't instinct. Yeah. That was just.
I remember like Sanji hears Nami randomly. It's like, and she's like miles away. It's like, hold on, is that Nami? What's going on here? It's like, how do you hear Nami, bro? It's not possible.
Skype was all observation gas.
Yeah. But Armament does have that stay with Zoro. At least you can argue in some way, because like the question's on, if he has Armor Haki back then, why did he get absolutely demolished by an L? You know, it's like he has Armor Haki. You know, but you know,
I got to figure out how to tap into that power again. They don't know what
they
don't know what they're doing. They just know that at key moments of desperation, they do.
They can get it done. Yeah, I'd agree.
You know, it's like when Zoro pulls it out against Kuma in Thriller Bark. She's so.
That's the theory. I'm not too sure about that. You know?
Hey. This
I've heard before too, but I don't know. I would say like maybe that skill uses more Haki than most, and he doesn't necessarily realize it.
Yeah,
you know?
it's all unconscious. Yeah. He doesn't know what he's doing until he eventually gets trained by Mihawk.
Right.
They don't have the word for it. They don't understand, but they have this innate disposition. Yeah.
Blackbeard, I think, BB does say pretty much and Impel down, like, yeah, like, you know, his Haki's getting stronger, but Luffy at that point in time still can't even like hit Smoker. So it's like, oh, that's interesting. He has Haki, he can't smoke a Marine forward. You know, I mean, I would say like I think people are right where like Oda he was still trying to figure out Haki, I suppose, and try and make it work out properly. So and he needed some indication for that in some way, where it's like, you know, you have pardoning show now as an actual black coating over the body now, which is okay. That's a good sign. That's a good change. He needed some indication for Conqueror's like infusion. Now the lightning ball that's kind of there, but that's always been like, because I'm pretty sure you get that issue too, where it's like, does this person have Conqueror's Haki infusion, or is it Armor Haki? Like, does Kobe's Honestly Impact actually have Conqueror's Haki? If we see Crocodile with some black lightning, does Crocodile?
Oh, yeah. So I think a lot of it. If we saw Crocodile with it, I could buy it now, but that's because, you know, Stella got his groove back. The whole thing is like most of the villains pre-time skip, they're failed pirates. They're all like bad timeline versions of what Luffy could be. You know, it's what that generation was. They all wanted the One Piece. They got crushed in the New World or the Grand Line, whatever. And then they started they fell back. Now Crocodile had his plans.
Yeah. So Crocodile. Yeah.
I think that Oda would probably explain it as, you know, your Haki is tied directly to your ambition. So if Crocodile's ambition is back and he wants the One Piece, and he wants to, you know, go for anything like that, then his conquerors could come back if he was a conqueror. Like, that's the way I see it. Like, if Moria, in theory, had conquerors, right, and Thriller Bark, wouldn't be able to tap into it because they're so gluttonous now and just not gluttonous, sloth-like. And so it's like you lose it. If you don't use it, you lose it. Now, I'm not saying that Moria has it. I'm just saying that's it. I'm just using that as an example for what I'm trying to
like
get
you
across.
have like Conqueror's Haki ED, basically. Yeah. No.
Yeah. Exactly.
So it's interesting because that idea you can actually apply it. At least you can maybe apply it to Ace. Because folks say Ace has Conqueror's Haki, but where's that? There's nowhere in sight that we see it.
Because he gave up. He relegated himself to making Whitebeard
the king. Yeah, it's not himself the king. Yeah.
So that's why he had ED against Blackbeard. That's
Oh man. Oh man.
Shout out to Alexander Super Chat said Crocodile doesn't use Haki because it would reverse of Hancock's fruit. Oh my god. This is teased with law and Daku's general disease.
Wait, go ahead.
I don't think that Crocodile is actually a woman. I don't think that that's the secret. I don't think it's the secret.
But it's a segue perfect to the live action, bro, because people are like, yo, we see Crocodile in the crowd watching Goldie Roger get executed in the live action. Where are we at? Now, we saw
Crocodile? Where?
That's the theory, but you don't know this. Now you know about this. Yo, listen. I know you can't say certain things. I know, but it's like, here's the thing, right? Here's what I say, right, man? If there was a chance that Crocodile, because I'm not sure if the live, because you would know, but I don't know if we even get the Crocodile in the live action or not. But I think a lot of fans are speculating that there may be some content in the live action that may deal with Crocodile being a woman if Crocodile was a woman in the past. Of course, we'll have to wait and see what that happens. My assumption is that some writers are messing people, bro. That's what I think. I think you guys in the back room, you guys know the fan base, and you just, you're just messing people. Like, yeah, I'm gonna put this little, yeah. I think that's what it is. I think you guys are just straight up trolling us. I've been so adamant. Like, you guys are trolling. You guys are just hard trolling. Everyone should come on. Season fans will know. The new cats, probably not. Oh damn. Okay. All right. Fair enough. But I think, in a general sense, the live action was outstanding. I liked it a lot personally. All right, for season 1. It's already season 1. It's already said and done. I was impressed that it actually got so much notoriety. In terms of like, it was, I think, like, how long was it number 1 on Netflix for? Like a full week or globally?
Multiple weeks. Was
it multiple?
Number 1 in 94 countries. Yeah, we had like at least, I think, 3 weeks in a row, and then we stayed in the top 5, fluctuating for subsequent weeks.
There were some things I did want to ask you about the live action season 1, where I did want to know, because there were some interesting choices that were made, and I think some of the most interesting ones were like, and obviously you have to readjust things for like live action purposes. You can't have just characters. Like, you can't have everything be 1-for-1 with the manga, particularly when One Piece is so, robust, so big. You can't have like every scene, every character per se from the manga. But I do wonder, like, the Marine choice, I think, is an interesting choice. I think that's like the biggest people, like, that's a hit or miss for a lot of people. It really was. Like, what are your thoughts on that whole thing? Like, the whole having the Marines be like in the forefront more.
So I love it. Like, I mean, I think it's a smart choice that they made. I think that there were maybe a couple more scenes of them playing Go than I needed. But I know that some people have had issues with like Garp being present, but it just like it makes so much sense. Garp is this highly lauded Marine Vice Admiral that the world knows. Monkey D. Garp. Right?
Yeah.
And now this pirate starts gaining notoriety. What's his name? Monkey D. Luffy.
Yeah.
There's going to be people in this world that are going to be able to put two and two together. I don't think that that's a precious like twist. I don't think it's something that needed to be saved for post Enies Lobby or anything like that.
Yeah.
So from that respect, like I'm completely on board. We already know that you have the Kobe and Helmeppo cover story. So
yes, they already trained, yeah. But what they do is that it does pretty well, I think, too. But also what they do is that they kind of, because the Marines are so prevalent now, it's like they do things like Helmeppo wants to be a swordsman relative to Zoro, which is kind of like a crazy play. It was whoa. Like Helmeppo doesn't have any of that sauce at all in the manga, but now Helmeppo and Zoro are somewhat in lockstep now, which is nuts when you think about how Helmeppo is like, he's like a background Marine in the manga, in the anime. It's like, what? Helmeppo? So that's a lot of push for Helmeppo. It's Kobe also has that sauce too with Luffy, and it's like, oh damn, like they're almost like,
I think that Kobe and Helmeppo are significantly improved in the live action.
Significantly.
And
I mean, Helmeppo,
two of my favorite characters in it.
Yeah. I mean, Helmeppo, Aiden, I thought Aiden did a great job. I thought he kicked ass, honestly.
He sure did.
To be fair, he actually did show ass. But I mean, man, that was like just seeing him, because you've seen Game of Thrones, right?
Yeah.
He reminded me of Daenerys's older brother, Viserys.
Okay. All right.
On God. Like just the pompousness, the arrogance, the holier than thou. Like it really felt like he was
I don't think we could have gotten a better Helmeppo.
Yeah, period. I think he was like, it was spot on. Like
born for it.
Yeah, actually. Unironically, bro. It was nuts. Yo, just out Jeff Ward, Buggy. Oh, bro. Man. Bro, that shit was lit, man. When this guy, I mean, like, I was sold episode 2 when episode 2 when he pulled up. But bro, when he had that scene with Arlong and Kurobi in the circus, and he pulled out the Arlong, baby. I was like, that was something, bro.
Yeah, that's yeah, we say that a lot, like in the room and everything. We say that a lot. We bring that back. Every character, baby.
Yes, bro. It's goated. That's a goated. That's a goated moment. That dumb middle fingers. When he's asking for Chu to like take care of his the gunk behind his ear, all that stuff. Jeff, I thought was, oh man, some people just did such a great job. Like I was just so impressed with the just the acting overall across the board, bro. It was, and I think people were like, well, it's a little bit too goofy, but that's kind of the point, though. It's like it's One Piece. Like, yeah, it's a pirate show and people die, and we have McKenyu cutting people in half. Of course, the agenda never dies, and there's blood everywhere and so on. But it's still it's on paper. One Piece is still a fun, hella campy, unserious, but it's serious, but it's still a fun as hell series, and they did a great job making it fun, bro. Shouts to Arquan, bro. Arquan is my boy, yo. Yes. Oh man, Arlong was great. So I'm hoping the energy maintains for the season. I mean, I'm pretty sure it will be. As long as you guys don't do what Oda drew for Chopper. That no, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. I don't know if you saw in the SBS when like he drew this.
Oh, I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah, this actual demon, bro. That's a fucking demon. I don't care what nobody says. He just took Chopper, removed his back. I was like, what are you talking about, man? There he is, bro. She was nasty work. Man. But live action was a great time, bro. It was great. So shots to success, and we're hoping for like countless time more seasons that in the future, right? One can only hope that's gonna be like, the entire series, but yeah, I mean, what's going on?
Just keep supporting.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. All right. So, what do you have going on for the manga right now? Let's go. Let's get to the sauce.
Yeah, let's get it. Let's dive in.
Yeah.
Terrible TJ said there could have been more blood with Zoro bleeding. Okay. Brian Carter said, "How much longer do you think we have of this arc? Just curious how many chapters you think are left, and how long you think this arc will end." So, I mean, that's a good segue into what we're discussing here.
Yeah, sure.
So, and Crabapple just said, "So great to see the Mad Monks of One Piece together."
Amen, brother.
And where is Mad Monk? So, my thing, since the last time that we talked, I really went down a deep dive that I've now called Math Piece, and particularly this last year of One Piece has been very calculated by Oda, more so than anything in the past. Like, you know, just to run down a couple of things, like he was deliberately manipulating the story so that he hit like anniversaries of prior events. So it's like there are every Shonen Jump has an issue number, right? So this is Shonen Jump issue 3, Shonen Jump issue 45, Shonen Jump double issue 30, 31, you know, whatever. That might not be an actual one that they do, but that's like kind of how it goes. And so the first fight with Luffy and Lucci in Egghead was on the issue anniversary of the first fight that they had pre-time skip. Like literally like the same week that this stuff happened. Like, so it's like we're seeing Luffy and Lucci like throw down, and you go back to Water 7 when they're in Galila, and it's the same time that they're first exchanging blows. When Dory and Brogy do Hakoko Sovereignty, it is on the issue anniversary of when they did it against the goldfish. So it's like literally the anniversary. The answers to the Reverie came exactly 5 years from the first chapter of the Reverie.
Okay, this is interesting as hell.
And he was also incorporating some things that correlated with kind of like birthdays. Some characters were randomly popping up based on the arbitrary birthdays that he gave them in SBSs. So, like one thing we talked about last time that you weren't on board for, I said Kid was going to be an Elbaf. Well, when Kid came back and he said, "I'm going to Elbaf,"
he was in the waters. He's
in the water, whatever. He was still there.
He was in the
anyway, when he said, "I'm going to Elbaf," that was Kid's birthday. Law versus Blackbeard was right around his birthday. It was Doc Q's birthday. And the chapter revolved around Doc Q. The Vegapunk stuff all lined up with anniversaries. I don't remember exactly like which is which or whatever, but it's like either the first time that we see Lilith is like you go back and it's the anniversary of when Kobe said Vegapunk's name, like when it was name dropped. One of them was the silhouette in Punk Hazard was the anniversary, and
interesting.
And then it's like when we actually see Vegapunk, it's the issue anniversary of the first time we see one of his inventions, which is Lasso in Alabasta. So it's like there's so many things that it just felt like Oda was manipulating. Vivi came back after how many years or whatever, and it was her birthday.
Yeah.
Like,
okay. Damn.
Like it
Japanese, like official release, right? Like official dates when they chapter drops, right?
So you have to give a little bit of leeway because dates change every year, so it's never like exact. Like they might be a day or a couple of days apart, but it's still there's still only one issue of Shonen Jump a week, so it doesn't matter what day it comes out. It's that week is still in play.
So the whole nice you're saying, because I'm like I don't know if you can actually manipulate to where it could be the actual day of.
Right.
But
now some of it
week,
did actually line up where it is the same exact day, which is wild. Fair. For the most part, it's the same week. And so that got me thinking, and I was like, okay, you know what? If we keep this sort of pattern going and this way of thinking, like what, like where are we going? And interesting things now, like just in the last chapter, Bonnie was shown for the first time in her flashback.
Yeah.
600 chapters after her introduction, exactly 600 chapters. Like, introduced in 498, introduced in her flashback 1098. Like,
so, if we take this to its most logical conclusion, is it possible we can actually gander a few things that are going to happen in the future that involve Kuma, that involve Bonnie, that involve Luffy's Gear 5, that'll also correlate with certain anniversaries that are upcoming, you know? Maybe?
Yeah.
Like, Luffy's first time does Gear 5, we're going to see him also go Gear 5 and actually punch Saturn in the face, you know, the anniversary 2 years later.
So, in theory, like, things like, if we went back and saw, like, the punch against Charlos, right? It was, like, that issue anniversary, if it was, like, sometime nearby, I don't know, but like theoretically that would be when I would expect like a punch against like Saturn from Luffy. Like, that would be the thing. When Luffy and Kizaru first had their scrap, it was on the anniversary of them scrapping in or having any sort of interaction in Archipelago. So it's like it isn't over. He's continuing to do this. But a thing that he hasn't done exactly yet, but could still, especially with this Bonnie business that just happened. My thing is, Dragon was introduced in chapter 100. 1100, 1000 chapters from that.
That's the question, man. I'm thinking the same thing too. That's the question. It's like, because it's very obvious that Kuma's going to show up, but Kuma's
definitely showing up. That's
for sure.
That's for sure.
How do you have, maybe Dragon doesn't necessarily show up, but Dragon mobilizes. Like, we see all systems go, like old school G Gundam, Domon Kashu, all systems green. We have all the Rev guys behind him. We have Dragon, like, so what we saw in the flashback, we see it again. We see all the Rev commanders and vice commanders. We see the whole army. It's time. We're on the move. Let's go. And then we have like major events happening as of that in the future, in the near future. But if man,
because geographically, it's hard to buy that Dragon's going to get from the Grand Line to the New World, even if a day has passed. Unless he's that guy. And he's going
to be Go Tanks and he flies around across the planet. That's not happening. Full stop, Dragon. Nah. He's got to be.
I mean, but
unless he's that nasty.
Yeah. But like, in theory, going with this, right? Some issue anniversaries that would happen, right? Is toward the end of this year, we would be at the issue anniversary of Ace destroying all the billion ships at outside of Alabasta, right? So
outside of Alabasta, yeah.
If we had a reversal of that, where it's Sabo pulling up at the Revolution Army, blowing down a bunch of Marine ships, then that's the kind of like that's like the stuff that Oda's bringing back. We are at the issue anniversary of the entire Ohara flashback at the end of this year and at the beginning of the new year. So if Oda wants to pull that back, and he really could. We could get. I would expect Robin drops the name of the ancient kingdom at the same time that Clover didn't. Which I have the actual, like, in my math piece video, I have all of the dates of what issues and chapters.
I need to watch it.
I don't remember which one it is.
I think it's too early for that right now. I want to, like, maybe in Elbaf we get that name drop, but not now. I think because ultimately our goal is to escape and run away.
Yeah, but if Robin gets involved in the Saturn scene, Like if we come out of this, right, and then Robin is in front of Saturn, like somebody who like issued that order, we could get some lore with Robin. We could get some Robin gas. But as far as when this arc will end, right? I know we talked about this last year, but we were debating whether or not we go to the moon or we go to Elbaf.
No,
It's Elbaf.
Yeah.
And we went to Elbaf in chapter 115. 1115, 1,000 chapters. I think we get to Elbaf. So I think this arc ends, and we are in Elbaf or on the way to Elbaf at the 1,000-year mark of name-dropping the island.
Would it be possible where it's actually more unlocked symbolistic little garden, like when we first see Dory and Buggy, or when we leave little garden? That'll be the chapter when we actually leave Egghead Island, because I feel like that'd be more synonymous, or like so. Because I'm not too sure if we can actually have a proper conclusion to this arc with in the next 6 chapters, because there's still
6 chapters. We've got. I mean, that's
right. Am I going crazy here? Oh wait. Oh my God. You said what the
11:15.
11:15. Yeah.
That's enough time. That's enough time to wrap this up.
You're right.
Like we could wrap this up by like 11:10. Do some wrap up chapters or whatever. We're on the way there. And like we can land there. Maybe it's not 11:10. Maybe whatever. But
So now I'm thinking about this too. Like, what if because we have to at some point see this giant do something, the one that activated because of Luffy's drum deliberation. What if that coincides, like, let's say the actual first time we see the Iron Pirate Frankie Shogun, like when Frankie when we first see it in action for the first in Fisherman Island or something like that, or let's say maybe it coincides when we first see Dory and Buggy, something of that sort. The Iron Pirate.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, because Frankie should still have, because he just saved Luffy, and this arc is it's still a good chance for him to actually get a lot of the character notoriety that folks are dying for.
So the Iron Pirate was introduced in 636.
630.
And that would be issue 38, which already passed in August. But if let's see, in August, what was happening in August? I don't even think we were back to Egghead. I think we were in this August. I think we were doing the GARP stuff.
Reverie stuff. Yeah, I think so too. I could check real quick.
But I mean, that's the thinking, bro. That's like, there's too many instances. Like, there's a million opportunities, right? Because I mean, we have 26 years of One Piece now, so there's every issue's got like 26 or 25 different instances and anniversaries that Oda can pull from and invert. But the main things here, we're dealing with a lot of Archipelago, we're dealing with a lot of Thriller Bark, and we're dealing with a lot of recent stuff too.
August, we did have the end of the Garp and Kuz, like Monster Impact stuff, and then also we had like at the very end of the arc, I think it was. But it was Kuma stuff. It was Kizaru. Like Kizaru was here, and then we were like he was making his way over. So yeah, that's August. Because you have to remember, there's been a lot of breaks, unfortunately. That's like the biggest downside of the whole year. I think just the amount of breaks. Of course, which Oda's health the best, but the breaks for a month, his trips over to Cali for the live action. Like a lot of folks, even though it's been a crazy year, a lot of folks are like, damn, we could have missed out. We missed out on so many chapters that could have really, like, something had to take a hit. And the chapters took a hit for sure when it came to the number of chapters that were produced. And I think it was also, what was it? There was something else that I'm forgetting here too that coincided with a lot of these breaks, but maybe something to do with the anime anniversary. I think it was the anime 20th anniversary too that Oda was recently part of, and that could have actually prevented him from actually getting the chapter done in time. So it's been like, and this was like the first time Oda couldn't actually finish the chapter on time, like the manuscript, like the first time I think in his career. I want to say it's the case. The first time, the last chapter. So it is what is there, but I think, man, okay. I don't know if I'm, damn, dude, because I've been trying to defend Dragon for a minute now, bro. I've been trying, bro. It's hard. It's hard defending Dragon, bro. If he were to pull up somehow, some way, go tank style, and he assists Kuma, or at least we see the Rev on the move.
No, Kuma's dying here, bro.
Is Kuma dying, or is Kuma
dying, bro? Like
dying, or is it like his body's gonna die, but then his memories go? Let's say the theory is that his memories go into that giant robot, and that giant robot's like a permanent ally.
Maybe, but like his corporeal form is gonna be no more because we need that.
We're making it very specific.
Yeah, we need that fruit to pass on, bro. That fruit is too important, and
who?
I'm a Vivi Niku stan, bro.
Vivi gets the Niku, the paw fruit.
Yep, because Math Piece joined the story in chapter 103. Morgans, Wapple, and Vivi are on their way to Egghead. We know this. Morgans doesn't want to miss out on the scoop. Chapter 1103, Vivi gets to Egghead, or reunites with the crew. Vivi's going to have something to do in chapter 1103. And if she gets the Hands of Liberation, I think it'll echo back into the Void Century, where Lily had the Hands of Liberation, and that's how the Poneglyphs got sent around the world.
Okay, I like this. So that's a theory too I've heard of, and I like it.
Even if Vivi doesn't get the fruit, Lily definitely had it. Like I'll die on that hill.
That's she able to move all the Poneglyphs around like the entire world.
That was her great mistake that Yuna was talking about.
Now, so I'm cool with that. I'm even cool with Kuma dying per se, as long as Kuma does get that final shot off of Jay, where especially if theory time, if Jay is the reason why, like Jay was sniping Guinea, essentially. And then the Sapphire Disease is more like a devil fruit curse, since in mythology, the Ushionis can actually curse people. And so, because I have my take here where maybe they're not actually mythical Zoan devil fruit users, but they're actually a new category, the demonic Zoans, that you could argue kind of play off of what we saw in film Red. I've been on board that like hardcore. I know folks don't like it, but I think it's a cool concept. But if you have Kuma at least get that final shot, like all of the pain that he's been accumulating, let's say for the past 2 years, let's say it's been that long, because keep in mind that this guy was defending the Sun Ego for 2 years straight against all these other pirates and marine forces, that kind of stuff. Then he went back to the Holy Land, suffered more pain by the Rosewald family as a mount, then finally gets freed. Guess what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to slam into the red line.
Scraps with a Kainu, loses a leg, allegedly.
Imagine the pain. Imagine the Kuma pain orb that's going to be just above Egghead Island. How big it's going to be. He's going to drop that on Jay, bro. Oh, no.
I need that. But not only that, first he needs to take Luffy's pain too and add it.
If he does that again, that'd be so dope.
Yo, he needs the reversal. It needs to be the reversal. Like it's going to be done in a way that benefits us, right? So he's going to take Luffy's pain out. He's going to add that to it. But one thing I need, and I hope Oda does this, is my favorite line in the God Valley flashback portion was when Kid Kuma looked at Jay and was like, "Sorry, mister, are you important?"
Yo.
And if he comes back and he's got all of this pain and he just looks up at Saturn and Saturn's in his, Kyuki Ushioni form and everything, and Kuma's just like, "I'm sorry, are you important?" Like, just bring it back.
Yeah.
And I also wonder how much Saturn was, I mean, you brought it as well, like how much Saturn was involved in this Ginny business to begin with. And if it was because Saturn is so petty that he held a grudge against Kuma for like having the nerve to ask if he was important.
Yes.
And that it didn't have to do with Ginny at all, and it was always about Kuma.
Always.
It was always about Kuma. And
keep in mind, people don't like that because it's a bit unsavory, because it's like on some like Bento Griffith stuff where it's like, it wasn't about Casca, it was all about guts the entire time, So this would kind of give you those same vibes, but at the same time, I think, because what you're saying is so, it kind of gives you the idea of how much the Gorosei are so inhuman in how they operate. Whether it's because of an emu thing or it's something else entirely, maybe it's their actual fruit abilities that are manifesting some way. Because people always keep in mind that he had this line when he kind of teleported in, like, hey, it's been a long time since it came to the surface. What do you mean, my guy? You were on the boat. What's going on there? So there are certain things that are very inhuman about them, and they tend to be themselves, they view themselves as superior, godlike, compared to the rest of the world. So, and then of course that line of when he talks to Doberman about how like humans essentially are ants, so they'll breed like pigs or whatever, and they'll just spawn, right? Like
but you have this spider dude calling everybody insects also, so it's it's on so many levels. Did you see that the stone that is associated with the planet Saturn is sapphire?
Yes. The sapphire, the Saturn sapphire, that I heard about too. Yes. It's a cool concept. I like it a lot. In terms of connecting, it's not cool to have Saturn do what he's doing, obviously.
No,
but
the connection is the connection is clean from a story perspective.
Yeah.
And I actually, let's see, I saw I got tagged in a Reddit post that was wild. I don't know if you saw this, but shout out to Reddit user Coco Beanso, right? The Reddit post is called "Huge Potential Source for Gorosei Powers," and they found something in what I believe is a Confucian book, and it is literally a pentagram, and they're the only things on each 5 of the corners of this pentagram are Mercury, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn, and Venus.
I like this.
And on top of this as well, it's got a list of different things that each of these sections of the pentagram are associated with. Next to the Saturn is Ox. We've got the Ushi, Ox.
Yeah.
Like, we've got this like Ushi Oni here, man. We've got this.
If you can send me that, because send me that link.
This is crazy.
Send me that. Yeah.
Because
the one thing I figured out is that like the idea of Saturn and the sapphire kind of ties to in some most way to in Hinduism, where there is this deity Shani, who is the personification of the planet Saturn. And then one of Shani's, I think, consorts was a person named Neela, who is the personification of the actual sapphire gem itself. So even in Hinduism, there are some ties there between the planet Saturn and the sapphire gem. And so I was kind of trying to put those two together, but now you brought this whole idea of there's an actual pentagram that's involved in the connection here.
I sent it to you in the chat there. If you want to look at this, right? Because it also tells us what potentially the other Gorosei could be. All right, like we know that there is, one of the shadows looked very bird-like, right?
Yes.
So under Mars is fowl. So Saint Marcus Mars could be some sort of a bird. If anyone is going to be a bird, it's going to be Mars.
Red, fowl.
Jupiter is connected to sheep. Mercury is connected to pigs, so I could see that being like a maybe a.
This is actually very impressive. This is
a crazy find.
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. 1 second. Be right back.
Definitely. So we could see probably something similar to the Awakened Beast that we saw in Impelled Down, I think, from Mercury. And Venus is a dog. So Gandhi, Ethan, Baron, Venus, Juro. It's a dog. So I put that link in the chat. Shout out to Mr. Bushido56 who said Carrot will show up, trust me. In the final war, sure, with Zunisha. I don't know where else, though. Shout out to Jay the Lightseeker who said if we get a Mad Monk backstory, it will include Enel on the former Sky Island Belkin, which would be hype. I actually like the idea of tying Enel to Rouge a lot. Tying Enel to Rouge and Belkin.
All right,
that's a
I'm
good
back.
idea.
Yeah. I'm back, and I was gonna ask that question just now. How do we get Rouge in all this, bro? Because it's time. Because like at some point he's the last one. He's the last one.
If he's showing up, it's Elbaf, bro. Because if we're gonna tie an L back into everything, and I like this because Jay the Lightseeker just said, like, what if we get in a Rouge backstory and it involves an L on Belkin? And I was like,
here we go. Wait, this is my theory. Oh, this is my theory.
All right,
yes.
Cook.
Tell me.
Cook.
There is something that I've always had a suspicion of, where Elbaf and Skypiea have a connection. Okay, the idea is simple. This. You all know the story about Jack and the Beanstalk, where there's giants on top of the beanstalk. After Jack climbs the beanstalk, he has to hide from them because they think he's food, that kind of stuff. Everything in the Skypiea is absurdly large in scale, and it kind of ties into the environment, where the environment kind of allows for things to grow at abnormal sizes and spans. And when we go to Elbaf, we see like there's a massive construct that's well above the mountains, which is probably likely like either the Atom Tree or something akin to that, like one of those sacred gigantic trees. Yggdrasil tree, right. But the idea is that the Yggdrasil tree has branches or vines that could spread across the entire planet per se, that are not necessarily seen by the naked eye, or you have to kind of activate some, like they're hidden in some capacity. Or they're there, but people, let's say they're so high up you can't necessarily reach them. There is one way to reach Skypiea that Gonfall talked about called the Road to High West, something of that sort. And the idea is, he said that normally people come through this method, but you're guaranteed to like lose people. And then with the knock upstream, it's like one go. Either you all die or you'll make it up here. That's pretty much how it works out. So I feel like we're gonna wind up seeing the Road to High West, because from where we are position-wise, it should be west from where Skypiea is, Elbaf. And every time we go to Elbaf, there are these, like, they're hard to see, but in the Big Mom flashback, in the Shanks kid situation, there are these really thin, faint structures that kind of surround the island. They're very long, but they're kind of like obscure in a way. And I feel like these would be connected to, in some way, the Yggdrasil tree or the Atom tree, we won't call that, of Elbaf, which spans across essentially the entire world. And then it's going to be at these locations we're actually going to be seeing, I would argue, the real, like hidden in some capacity, but the real Uranus is going to be on top of Elbaf, potentially accessible by the giant royalty that are there. So Odin, Thor, Loki, Hera, they will be the ones up there in Elbaf. So that is what I'm thinking right now. I think there's a lot Oda could do there for sure with certain characters. I don't know about Shanks. Shanks may not be tied to Elbaf as much anymore because we already saw him there. But I feel like we're gonna get the reason why Big Mom is so damn big. When she's like Kuma size when she's 5 years old. She's insane. Why? That's kind of wrapped up there. But I think ultimately that's where you could also have the connection to Urouge and Enel, because we know that they lived in the Sky Island, but where's that Sky Island? Did that Sky Island also have a beanstalk, like the giant beanstalk next to it too? You know, was there a road there, like another road to High West that led from Elbaf to, I think it's called Borica, right? So this is what I'm thinking, right? Call me crazy, but this is what I'm thinking. Hook, man. So, I mean, basically it's there, all right? I'm gonna leave it at that for now because I want to do some more time in like a video and think about more the connections, the themes, the lores. But that's what I'm thinking. That's my theory.
Well, hey, look, I'll build on it. I love the idea of. I'd like to see a situation where all Sky Islands come from Elbaf in some sort of a way. So if the trees branch out all the way across, and it's like literally this road to High West, that, you know, that you're bringing up, like is kind of like, you know, in the Thor movies, you know, Idris Elba, like sending people across. Like what if Elbaf has some sort of like instant transmission style type of technology, or maybe that is a rainbow road. Maybe that is a ancient weapon in itself that they have access to, or maybe something happened and the rainbow road started splitting parts of the islands across, and it's like, and that's how we get things like Nola, Kashi, you know, these giant Normaganders that theoretically would have started in Elbaf, but somehow made their way to places like Jaya and Skypiea. So I would love if Skypiea just like completely ties back to Elbaf, and it was like the early start of just Oda vaguely trying to put in the Norse mythology and everything right after he had already introduced the idea of Elbaf. Okay. And that's fun. I like that a lot.
Talk to me. More? Glaze it more? Glaze it more? Here's how he glazes even more. This ties to the moon.
Treat it like a donut, bro. Come on.
Yeah, that's right. If you can have a potential gateway, that's like, and Elbaf is that gateway, then this could also explain how we get to the moon in some way. Because in theory, and then, man, it's kind of dumb, but
this could be why Enel wants to go to the moon in the first place, because it's all tied to Elbaf.
In some situation, right? It's like everything. So Elbaf has some unique things that are interesting to Elbaf itself. Not necessarily for the giants, but not for the giant pirates per se, but also what they have in terms of their mythology, right? The giants, they talk about the sun god, just how the Skypiea and stuff with the sun god. They mention, of course, the forest god. They mention the water god and that kind of stuff. But they also mention gods of chaos, and they talk about that when they see Big Mom kill. I think it was not Fallbeard, the linkier one. And then when I think about the idea of gods of chaos, and I look at something like Saturn, I think Saturn, even though they're orderly gods, maybe it's not like a good translation, but maybe it's more so like something that's akin to like demonic gods, right? That'd be like more of an akin idea to what we see with Saturn and potentially all the other Gorosei too, where they're gods of a malicious nature, quote unquote gods. Now, one of the things that's interesting too is that you have, man, okay, let me think for a second. I had it for a second. I had it. I just lost it. Oh my God, no. No, don't lose it. So, I'm gonna get it back. What was it?
Shout out to my guy Maxo. Said shout out to two of my faves in one room, lurking and listening.
Much love, bro. Much love. Elbaf, Skypiea, the gods of chaos.
So here's I'm gonna glaze this a little more, right? Okay.
Glaze.
I think we get Blackbeard and Elbaf. So now we get another god of chaos coming to the island. And
I'm down with that.
A reasoning for this is theoretically when we are in Elbaf, eventually it's going to line up with the first name drop of Blackbeard during Drum, which is like 133, somewhere around there. So we just need to get to 1130, and then I feel like Blackbeard's pulling up to Elbaf. We know that the books are there. We know that the Library of Ahara is there. Blackbeard has he's got a affinity for archaeology per SBS's, and I'm gonna glaze this so much for you. All right, you ready for this? Okay.
Oh, shoot.
He's got pudding with him.
He does. Yes, he does.
He's got pudding with him. Big Mom's tied to Elbaf.
Yes, she's coming back for sure. I think
someone needs to get his sister back.
Yes.
You get some donuts on Elbaf.
And somebody also has a quote unquote wife to get back too. Like, yo, what the hell? This is the problem, bro. Hello, let's go.
So I think we need a Ragnarok. So if we get like a battle royale on Elbaf, we get Katakuri pulling up. We got Blackbeard there. Katakuri wants his sister back.
Yeah.
We learn that Elbaf maybe is even the key to everything and getting to Laugh Tale in first place, because maybe that's where the last road Poneglyph is. Maybe it's at the top of the beanstalk.
I got it.
Good.
I just remembered what. Okay. Everything you just said was excellent glaze, and I like it too. And I'm going to kind of maintain the idea of the gods of chaos, because this is what I was about too. Uta, film red. The Norse runes. That was a big tell. When Uta sings her namesake song, especially if you watch her music video, I think it's called the Eye of Horus. That's like behind her. But essentially speaking, this idea stems from what potentially is accessible. It stems from Vegapunk's idea. Vegapunk talks about how Deathroot powers potentially come from another plane of existence. In Film Red, there's a concept where the evils and the sadness and the despair, the loneliness of men was given form, and then this form was taught musica. In order to summon that, there was Norse runes when Uta sings that song. And I was wondering, why is it Norse runes? Giant history is not necessarily like talked about that much in terms of like the Void Century, all right? And I wonder if the Giants were in some way in lockstep with a tragedy that could have kind of a tragedy that maybe formed in another plane of existence, some entities that were of demonic nature. Because that's kind of like the idea where it's like imagination stems from so much of the power system in One Piece, like the underlying framework of souls and Deathroot powers and demons, that kind of stuff.
Which is something we talked a lot about last time, because we just basically learned about that.
Yes, and I really feel like that's going to be super important moving forward, because I think Vegapunk only bolsters my ideas now when he explains how Deathroot powers potentially are abilities that were imagined by someone else before them, right? So I'm not too sure if the Sun God Nika was an actual person or if that was Joyboy per se, but the idea is that the imagination of the mind, and in some ways, given Oda's writing, you kind of see that where it's unlimited. And even Crocodile, your boy, says this, where a Deathroot power is as powerful as they imagine themselves to be. Your creativity is pivotal. It's pivotal in how powerful you are as a Deathroot user. And Luffy is like the most he's the most Zays guy there per se, so it's very fitting.
And while we're at it, like, hey, let's get even crazier, add some more glaze, throw the cross scale at Elbaf as well.
I'm cool with it. Do you want to see, this idea, I love your idea so much. Do you want to see the Davy Back Fight in Elbaf?
I do. Yeah, I do. If I want cross scale Davy Back, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
If we start Elbaf with the cross scale Davy Back, right? Then it lines up with the introduction to Crocodile 1,000 chapters later. Mr. 3 would already be there, so you got anniversaries there. It's all
I like that.
It's all built in. You get some key Robin stuff, because you're also 1,000 chapters from her introduction.
Yeah, and Saul. And
yeah, well, obviously all of the Saul stuff as well. But if that is like sort of this distraction, I want Zoro versus Mihawk to be the combat of the Davy Back. But what if that gets interrupted because Blackbeard does show up? So we don't know if Zoro is the world's strongest swordsman because he shows up right during the combat and starts messing everything up, and we have to postpone the rest of that fight until Laugh Tale.
I don't know if... So we have a Zoro vs. Mihawk Part 1.
Yeah.
And then we have this fight resume later on. I mean, I guess Buggy will be at Laugh Tale, or maybe even just nearby. I don't know. I don't know how to work exactly. I hate the idea, honestly. He's touching sacred ground. But
you hate the idea of what?
Buggy being on Laugh Tale, bro.
Nah, bro. Like, that's so set up, bro. That's so set up. He's the first real villain of the series. He's connected to Shanks. He rode on Roger's ship. He did not get to go there because he had an illness. It's not going to be a thing where Oda's not going to let him never touch holy ground. Like, it's a moment so that Buggy gets there also with Luffy. It's going to be there.
But the idea is that, like, he gets there with, but the idea is like, okay, well, Laugh Tale is supposed to be like a super mega uber special place, and you have it. I'd rather Buggy sit on the true throne. Honestly, I'll keep it a stack. I'd rather him sit on Emu's spot, like Buggy lounge his way to Emu-shi. I'd rather that.
Why
bro.
not both?
On God.
Why not both? This man just
we're giving this guy too much. He's too much, bro. He's too much, bro. He's too much, bro. Like, now we're just giving him the right to just. If Luffy has the power one day to like leave the manga because his Gear 5 is so insane, he can pull a Popeye, leave the manga, and talk to Oda. Is Buggy gonna come with him?
Sometimes you hear people talking about failing upwards.
This is the insanity I feel like could be happening at some point in the future. It's like, how much sauce can this clown get, bro? It's too much.
He is one of, if not Oda's favorite characters, so he's making it to the end.
He probably is. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, without a doubt, bro.
It's like, whether you like it or not, this man is here to stay. It's just gonna be, the story's got to get crazier, regardless, and we need a battle.
Big Mom, potentially Mihawk, potentially Blackbeard, Luffy, all these guys at some point interacting on Elbaf, maybe a crazy battle on top of the Yggdrasil tree.
Enel comes back down from the moon, bro. Like,
sign me up, man. Sign me up. Yo, I'm ready.
Look, we've been building up Elbaf and hyping it up for almost 1,000 chapters. We are so close to 1,000 chapters from the hype.
Literally a lot.
But even
for Wano Country, we're hyping it up. Even for Wano.
It is Oda's most wanted arc to do, because it's what inspired him. Vicky the Viking, everything. Like, the Norse mythology is peppered throughout everything. So he is going to
Shanks,
glaze. He is going to gas up Elbaf. And if it's a situation where Elbaf then, directly leads us into Laugh Tale and everything, we can end the pirate portion of this story to then take on the world government. And that's the end. So it's like, we go into Elbaf, we're fighting all of the pirates, we're going to Laugh Tale, we're ending all of this stuff, Luffy becomes king of the pirates, and then everybody together, now that he's the king, right? Now, what if he's rolling into Marineford with everybody on his back, falling in line, just like, New Marineford, or Marijo, or whatever.
Yeah.
But now he's got Crocodile, Buggy, and all of that, like, back with him like it was in Marineford, but they're just understanding that they're falling in line now.
I love this, but I think it's like half of what could potentially be going down here. In terms of story prominence, I think that's like the potential, but at the same time, so I think there's a good chance now the artist could be right about the timeline, because remember we had the topic before, like way back when, about how the time of the story actually matches up with what Oda wants to do with, like, we get to the One Piece after everything's all said and done, not we have a final war after it's found. And one thing that caught my attention was what Oda said in the interview with the author of Conan, where he talked about how the story is essentially, he has a quote, The story is essentially over when the One Piece treasure is found. That's what Oda says in this interview. And that is a very interesting line right there. Because if that's the case, we don't have a final war with the world government. The final battle is for the One Piece treasure itself, ideally. So the government are out of the picture at that point in time, and now it's just One Piece time.
Then the only way to do that is everybody and the government and all of the Marines show up, and it's like all just war breaks loose on Elbaf. But I don't buy it though. I don't buy it because it's like.
Where's the line? Give me a second. Let me get it.
He needs.
I have a picture stay somewhere.
I know what you're talking about. I think it might have been like the Shanks Summit that we did, and then Artur was like trying to tell us about, you know, what Oda was saying, and it's like, I need a arc where Luffy is already king of the pirates. Like, I need him to be the pirate king and free the world. That's what I want out of the story. If I don't get it, so be it, but that's what I want.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so right here. So, let me actually, because I have it, let me just download the picture again.
Here, I'll be right back. Keep the chat warm. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, I got you. I'm gonna send Randy this sexy, saucy message right here. Some salacious nudes. Okay, I'm kidding, bro. Allegedly, chat. Allegedly. Don't worry, don't mind me. But so let me read. That's our secret chat. Don't let Randy know nothing. Don't let Randy know nothing. Now, here's the thing. Here is what Oda says in this interview with the author of Detective Conan, okay? He says, and I quote, chat, and I quote, Oda, how long will it take until the final chapter? Aoyama, that's a secret, ha ha ha. I might decide to redraw the finale in the future, ha ha ha. And Oda says this, I've always pictured what the final chapter of One Piece will be like. Though from time to time, the situation surrounding it changes, it will still be over when the One Piece is found in the series, ha ha ha. Anyway, this next arc is the final one. So, Oda is saying right then and there that the final, like the One Piece treasure being found essentially is like the very, very, very end of the story. And then, because we all know that after we find the One Piece treasure, there's going to be like a final thing after that. Like Luffy's final dream. And that'll probably be, I think, the party. My guess is gonna be the party. We're gonna have a big celebration across the entire world, the final grandiose party, and then One Piece ends on that note. Oda can lie too, he can, but why would he be lying to his fellow famed mangaka? That seems like a bullshit sleazy move. Like, yo, if I have an interview with, you know, like, especially given, you know, how someone like that, Conan's author is credibly acclaimed in Japan. Like, I don't see him lying. I don't think Oda's that kind of a scumbag, Ric Flair type of dude to just, yeah, I'm gonna tell you a few fibs. Like, what? I mean, he could, but I need some evidence for that. I'm just saying that if we do have a situation where, let's say, Dragon mobilizes real soon, and the Red are already fighting against Wargama as we speak. They're already fighting. If St. J. Garcia Saturn dies in this arc, let's say because of Luffy plus Giant Robot plus Kuma Massive Spirit Paintball, we could even get, let's say, an Emu face reveal at the end of this arc. Very possible, because what's the reaction to J. Garcia's death when by the other Gorosei? That could be hella intense.
All right, so that's an interesting thing that you bring up.
Back. What's up? Okay, talk to me.
So
I was trying to know about the other idea about the One Piece, you know, being potentially at the end. But go ahead.
So, if this is a thing where we have a division of sorts, then, you know, maybe I buy it. I mean, I would prefer that Luffy, you know, storms the castle and everything, but if it's a situation where we get that scene with Luffy, Vivi, and Sabo, which has been telegraphed, like they need to be in a room and they need to strategize.
Yep.
Then they've now learned everything that they need to learn at the Library of Ohara from Saul. they know things about the true history, and they are widely upset with the world government. Vivi has her connection to Morgans. They can spread this information out. The Revolutionary Army gets every single country now to turn against the world government, and they start storming the castle under the orders of Luffy in some way, right? While he says, all right, you guys go and do that. I'm going to go get the One Piece. And then we're seeing both things happen, and it's Luffy's father going in and destroying the government while Luffy's becoming the king of the pirates. Then maybe, although Luffy's our protagonist and I would rather see him do it, it might be cool to see Luffy throwing some orders down.
There could be a direct way of having link up with Luffy's dream directly, but not the treasure itself. And that's safe at the very, very end, like with Oda, if that interview is correct. And that's what we find out about where the last rope poneglyph is located. It may not be in Elbaf. Elbaf could be like hella deep in terms of the lore, in terms of the importance of the story, but there's no rope poneglyph there. And if it is on that black ship that just sails across, let's say, the entire New World somewhere, and then if Sea of the Rain is right, where it is a government dog, it's a government man on that ship. What if it's Scopper? Who knows? Maybe he betrayed Roger. Like, Roger, Rayleigh, they all get Buggy middle fingers. Who knows, right? Whatever. The idea is if this person is a government affiliate, then the government will come and stop Luffy because they don't want anyone to reach the One Piece because they know how dangerous, how important it is once it's found. And so they want to prevent them happening in the first place. So they'll shut it down. It makes them look more competent in terms of what's the point of the final war if they already found the treasure, when it's like, well, hold on, just stop them from doing it in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So you can argue, you can have that where they're trying to find the last poneglyph. Meanwhile, the world's in all this chaos, and Dragon is leading the chaos. He's doing the Fisher Tiger. We're climbing the red line. It's time to free all the slaves. Luffy, finally the Grand Fleet. Maybe the time is now. Which I want to see him do something before, but whatever. They pull up along with Dragon and company, and then we fight against the God Knights. We fight against the Gorosei and Emu. If Emu is the dude or the girl to be fought by Luffy, there is that possibility where it's not Luffy, nor Dragon, nor Sabo. He wants to say Akainu, like Akainu betrays. No, he a cope. He's a dog, actually a dog. What if it's Blackbeard? Because people forget he's scheming, man. He's scheming something massive. And I know people, and I know folks don't like the idea, but what if he is the one to sit on the throne at some point in the future because his plans play out as such, where he can actually use the power of the world government, of all of their military resources, because he gets what he wants. He makes his country an affiliate of the world government, and then this gives him the gateway he needs to slide on into the Holy Land, say, ha ha, well, who's gonna stop me, you know?
See, that's why I think the Niku is gonna be so important, man. Because Oda is going to need a device for people to start, like, teleporting around the world. And
I think so too.
You know, but if it's a situation where, like, say we are doing this split thing. Dragon, Sabo, the Revolutionary Army, the Grand Fleet, they go to Marijoa. But
Wano country, Yamato, Luffy, get her back at some point
because they need Pluton.
Yep. Borders go down.
Yep. They can instant transmission over there, then go where they need to go for something else. Permitting that they have this is all based in the idea that Vivi has the fruit and can be the one to start sending everybody where they need to go.
Yeah. It's a good theory, man. Honestly, I like it. I may do a video on it. Shout out to you, of course.
If we go to
Savage,
we get to Laugh Tale, right? And say all of this stuff is happening, the final war is going on, and then it's like, and now it's Dragon and Emu, and they're in a room together, and it's like it's about to be the final battle. Luffy has just become the king of the pirates. They found the One Piece. right? We need to end the story, and Vivi slaps him to Marijoa.
Ooh.
And then he's there with his father, and they're both taking down Emu or something. And the crew is also landing, like, it's like that. It's basically Endgame, right?
Yeah,
all hope is lost, but then the Straw Hats, now that, you know, the the Pirate King's fleet lands and starts, like, turning the tide. I don't know. I need that emotional rally moment, and I think you can get that from that. But also, Blackbeard is at, or, you know, not necessarily Blackbeard, but at least Lafitte and maybe Devon are on Egghead, right? So what are they after?
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Blackbeard wants Devil Fruits. So if he can get his own copy or recreate a copy of the Niku Niku, then he would be just as dangerous because he'll be teleporting around.
The theory is that Caribou is his man, and maybe Caribou is, because every time there's an ancient something involved, Caribou always somehow, some way winds up being involved too. So the idea is that maybe he's also going to be, like, telling him about the location of Pluton, and then
that's the Occam's razor. That's the obvious one, all right? I told you before, but Caribou in my mind is Crocodile's man.
Yeah, that's so. That one we have to see. I need to see a lot more for that, but I'm cool with it as long as it's finally said, like, what the hell Caribou is.
Here's the thing, like, if Oda really is gassing Crocodile up, and Crocodile is when it comes to the series and everything, like, Crocodile's the Frieza. Like, he's the number one villain. Like, that's, like, this is the, you know,
we got it before. Yeah.
It's the villain that, you know, a lot of things were built around. I mean, now in recent years, Doflamingo and Kaido have been getting more, you know, Stain and everything. But it still, the main thing here is Alabasta was the arc where all of this came to fruition. We learned about the ancient weapons. We learned about the Void history. We saw our first Vegapunk invention. Like, all the seeds for everything we're talking about right now were in the Alabasta and the Alabasta Saga.
Yeah,
and
a lot of them. Yeah,
the first time we learned about ancient weapons is out of Crocodile's mouth. So if there's anything that has to do with ancient weapons, like, in the end game of the story, Crocodile's got to be there for it because he's the one who brought the idea to our attention, just narratively speaking. So if you have a character that is constantly getting information about the ancient weapons, why not tie him to the person who was looking for them in the first place? Blackbeard has never once mentioned an ancient weapon.
No, but at the same time, he's mentioned about being king of the world order. He wants, like, a lot of world conquest. Like, he's the only Yonko so far we've seen try and gain territory in the Grand Line. Not the New World, the Grand Line. He had Pinkbeard or Peachbeard go over to Lulusia, essentially. Yeah, that's in the Grand Line. It's like, wait, what the hell? Like, Yonko shouldn't be concerned about anything involving the Grand Line. But that's what he was trying to do. So, I mean, he hasn't mentioned it, but maybe because he sees something bigger. Like, ancient weapons are one thing, but he also maybe feels like there's something important about the world government itself to try and amass power there, because he does want his country to be a part of the government. So, because he wants that power for sure, without question. Well,
let's break down Blackbeard's plan in a moment. I want to hit some of these super chats and then
go.
David Cott said, "What if Emu made a pact with literal devils, aka the Gorosei, to destroy the ancient kingdom? We know the underworld and other dimensions exist." I mean, we could get into a ton of things that end up being possible, and that could be one of them. We do know the underworld exists. Brooke confirmed as much. Yeah. And we've seen the Grim
anime
Reaper as well.
Zoro. Yeah. Brooke.
Demi LP said Vikings were a warrior tribe who were natives of Scandinavia from basically 3 countries: Denmark, Norway, and Sweden. Real life Burka is one of them. Funny that Nami's nationality would be from Sweden.
Oh. No. No.
I don't know if it's going to tie into Nami at all. I'm pretty sure Oda really just pulled those nationalities, like, out of a hat, like, when he put that together. So
That's Usopp time, right? Elbaf is time for Usopp shenanigans.
It's Usopp time for sure.
Yeah,
Looney said Elbaf will be greater than the final war arc. Oh no, sorry. It's the no, they're doing sorry, they did a greater than, but they're meant an arrow. So they think Elbaf, then the final war arc. A small time skip. Final chapters are Luffy finding the One Piece with his crew. Final panel is Luffy's. He laughed. We don't get to know what the One Piece is. I'd be fine with this.
Stop.
We're gonna find out what it is.
We're gonna find out for sure.
I mean, that's kind of interesting if Luffy like defers getting the One Piece to save the world, and then goes after it once the world is different, and then it doesn't even matter if he becomes king of the pirates. Like I guess I kind of like that.
Yeah, because the world is different, but what part of the world? Like the new world's still the same. The new world, like they don't give it. Like technically, they don't really care what happens outside of the new world. That's what they do over there. And then also, Luffy's a selfish dude. It's like, you know, like what did you say before? Like I don't want to be a hero. I'm not a hero, bro.
Exactly.
Like I just want to.
That's
I
why
want to
it's like,
and I want to get my treasure, bro. Please.
Oda's got to find a way to tie it into somebody that he cares about.
The black ship.
Or somebody that helped him.
It's the Black Pearl. It's the Black Pearls. That's the key. I think that's the biggest key. The biggest takeaway. Black Pearl, whirlpools, what's going on. Maybe Davy Jones is actually involved in that. We finally get a Davy Jones in the story. Who knows? And then...
Which would be crazy because like the forum game in 2003, 2004, 2005 when Davy Back Fight was going on, like all of the theories were Davy Jones theories, and there are not enough of them anymore. People have forgotten about that.
What if Emu is the Davy Jones and all along, like we like Emu was the one, the Davy Jones, and we just finally get and in Emu's Black Pearl ship ties to it itself. Who knows? Because it makes more sense for them to be more prudent about not letting people reach Laugh Tale. Yeah, but who knows? Who knows?
Old Green Knees said, I'm catching up now, Captain, but I'm here for all the VV agendas, crew roles, power-ups, and why she would be the ideal person to lead the fleet.
Lead the fleet?
I mean, it's possible. It's possible. But, I mean, I want her there in Laugh Tale. It's possible that she does instead opt to lead the fleet. Depends on what Oda wants for her. So Blackbeard's plan. I think I got through all the super chats. Let me know if I didn't, and I'll get into it. But so we know that Blackbeard had a very specific plan in the pre-time skip.
Yes.
Brian Carter said, I feel like Alabasta should be split into 2 seasons in the live action.
I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
Yeah. Trouble. He can't give you the scoop, man. He can't do it. He can't do it.
We can talk about season 1.
Yeah, season 1 all day.
Season 1 all day. Season 2 now. So...
They're feeding for it, bro. They want it so bad. Yeah.
Well, hey, when they get it, they get it. And why should I spoil anything?
Oh, wait, hold on. Time out. Here's a question. Here's how I
don't want to spoil it for you.
True, but at what price, though? At what price? What's the chat? Hey, yo, hold on now. There's a price, right?
There's no price for the spoilers. There's no price for season 2, but I mean,
I'm just saying because it'd been funny to see like all the Arabian Nights. Like, listen, man, we're gonna test this. Like, we're gonna see how much it takes to crack Randy. We're gonna see how much, yo. Let's go.
Hey, I test it.
Like Mbappe money, bro. Mbappe money. Yeah. Oh, yeah. What? You want to know? Yeah. I like to know everything, bro. I like to know everything. Let's go. Oh man. Oh yeah. But go ahead.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
The Blackbeard had a really tremendous plan. Like everything executed even better than he thought it would. Like he talks about fate and everything coming in and basically making things work out better for him. So there are things that he wants right now. And shout out to Novum, member for 29 months. It's certified savage, theory for theory, enjoying immensely. Sure. Appreciate that, my guy. We know kidnapped Kobe because he wanted to gain favor with the world government, because he wants Hachinosu to become a recognized state. Yes. So there's something at Marijoa that he wants. Is it the hat? What does he want? What does he gain? Okay, because part of the pre-time skip was about access in the first place. He wanted to get into Impel Down. So that's why he wanted to become a warlord. Mm. So there are he went through a series of different events to become a warlord so he could get into Impel Down, to get a great crew, to take over Whitebeard's territory, to get where he is now, to be able to take over Hachinosu. And then now he wants to become a recognized state, but why? What does he want from Marijoa? What does he gain? And also, he wants the Mero Mero no Mi. Like, that's what he was talking about in 956. Like, if they're just going to take it, then I'm going to go and
He let it
go.
He let it go, but maybe that also implies that there's something that the fruit can do that he can't do.
Right, but he's also at Egghead right now, where they have a replicated version of that fruit that he wants.
Well, maybe not him per se, but people, yeah, for sure. And then
he went there specifically for that fruit, man. Like that
he was fighting Law. Oh no, I'm talking about
I'm talking about Amazon Lily, bro.
Oh yeah, Amazon Lily. Yeah,
Amazon Lily. He wanted Hancock's fruit.
Yes.
So
he is going power hunting in the first place, so it could be just that and that alone. Not necessarily.
But what if the powers have something to do with the end game?
Possible. But Boa's Mera is not like one of, as far as we know, it's not like one of those crazy, like, legendary fruits. Like, it's not like the Yami Yami.
Hey, but we don't know. We don't know that.
Nika.
We don't know that, bro. What if all of the original warlords have fruits that are like insane to the end game?
The only thing I can think of that kind of fits your bill is if there's something particular about the Mera no Mi or the Mero Mero no Mi's awakening, where if it awakens something particular, like it has super unique attributes. Like Law has the immortality disease. I mean, he has the immortality surgery. That makes that fruit like unbelievably valuable. Boa's is not like maybe you could be right, but I just
what if her fruit has something to do with the Poneglyphs? She can turn people into stone. They're looking for ancient stones with writing on them. Like what?
That have voices.
That have voices, exactly. So what if every Poneglyph is somebody from the Void Century or is collectively Joyboy? Now that's another theory on my channel, but it's like,
okay.
Like it's if, because everybody's like, oh, well, Boa said that she can't undo the work of a previous user, right? But I mean,
right.
Boa's a badass. Like, why would she tell Blackbeard anything that he wanted to know in the first place? Like, characters.
Do you think Boa's awakened her powers or no?
I don't know if she's awakened her powers, but I believe that the awakening could undo the
any
previous
petrification or petrify per se anything. But oh man, this gets tricky, Rand. This gets
it gets tricky because he also needs pudding for his plan too, right? So he went out of his way to get pudding, who was gassed up in 999 by Big Mom and Kaido. Like, hey, did she awaken yet? Can she read the Poneglyph? So we know that if she awakens, she can, right? But what if the memo fruit, right? What if the awakening of that can pull the memories of these voices out of the Poneglyphs? So you don't even need to read it. You can just go into the Poneglyph and pull out the memories from the void history.
Interesting, man. That's crazy. The only way this works, because it's crazy, because like the idea is that Panmecia, when they awaken, they could tap into inanimate objects and start doing things like Dofi could. But the idea is that this would work if the Mero has a connection, I think, to a Kozuki clan member, because they were the ones that were tasked with the creation of the Poneglyphs, I believe, and also the scribing. Hence, Oda could do that. So maybe there's a connection there. But I think it'll be too interlocked. I'm not saying it's like not impossible, but it could be the case that was the case a long time ago. However, I think that the idea that Zoro brings up, where everything has a breath, everything has a sort of presence to it, like the breath of all things, ties to the voice of all things, in the sense of like it indicates that even them objects have some sort of essence or some sort of let's say force that people can listen to, particularly when you have the voice of all things or you have the third eye ability, like you have the Hiei Dragon Eye, you can read that stuff. Okay, fair enough. But outside of that, I'm not sure if it's like because it feels like a little bit tragic in a way, where it's like you have all of these people that are trapped in poneglyphs for like 800, 900 years. That could be the case, but it's like, like, wouldn't you have to break open the poneglyphs then, or would they just be the poneglyphs? Like the poneglyph itself has to be unpetrified in some way.
I mean, it would be cool
ahead.
if there was a goal of like actually collecting the poneglyphs, because then it could create this giant creature or whatever.
Yeah, right. Like it'd be like a oh man, no. Like it actually looks like a giant person or something, like the poneglyphs. Yeah, but I think that the idea would be dope. But
shout out to Dak in the chat. Reassemble Joyboy, baby. That's our theory.
Maybe the real poneglyph. Maybe that like real poneglyph would be like the thing, where like that poneglyph that tells the Void Century, that poneglyph in particular would have connection to a different power if it was sealed in some particular way. Or like the road poneglyphs. Like, why are the road ones red? The other ones are blue. How would they be different from this? Yeah, like of course they tell you like we're going to Raftail, but were they petrified in some unique way, or let's say there's a more unique process to make that reddish color that makes them special? Like, I'm not too sure. Like that one to me, I have to think about it more. Boa just could be there, bro. Like, Boa just, oh man, Boa just could be there. But you see,
Cool.exe. Loading.
Is it possible that you can, kind of like what Law does with his power, where like he has people's, okay, I think this will work actually. What if it's not people, but it's like their hearts? Could you combine, let's say, Law's ability, where like you have someone's heart in a cube, and then you have a poneglyph that ties together with that? So like the heart inside the poneglyph cube, petrified, and then inside the poneglyph.
So you're actually like, I have a whole theory on the channel called Reassemble Joyboy, and you're getting into elements that like I do actually get into it.
You already have this? Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah, I mean, not exactly what you just said, but like tying Law's fruit into it as well, or Buggy's. So it's like, say hypothetically,
yes, that's
well, hey, like let's add that. We were already adding some Buggy glaze. Let's add some more gas.
No.
Let's say that Buggy's fruit ends up being intensely important in the Void History flashback. Like the second devil fruit that we ever saw in the story.
True.
It was on Roger's ship for a reason. Let's gas it up. What if it had something to do with everything that they needed to accomplish?
Okay. So he awakens, like human fruit model Bika, right? I like it. Let's go. And the Bika was like Nika's best friend, right? Best boy. Yeah, okay.
Shout out to Bika.
Yeah. Okay. I keep on cooking.
So if Joyboy was a giant, like so many speculate, I mean, I have various theories of what Joyboy could have been or who he could have been. But let's go with the Occam's razor. He was a giant, right? and then
or Buccaneer,
but that doesn't work for the Poneglyphs because they're all huge, unless it really is multiple people. But if it was a thing where like he got petrified, got split by the awakening of the Barabara no Mi, because the awakening of the Barabara no Mi is basically law without a room. If I'm rubber and I can make the ground rubber and make other people rubber, if my power is I can split my body apart, my awakening is I can split you apart. So
permanently. Permanent. Yeah.
So if we're splitting these things apart, I want to see something in the story where it's a lot of Devil Fruit users using their abilities in tandem, you know, and I'd love it if the One Piece can only be accessed if you actually do have all of these people together or something, and maybe that's why it was too early, because he didn't have enough time to gather all of this stuff. But if the stones are petrified, they're split up, and then Lily sends them across the world after they've been tattooed on or whatever with their messages.
The Niku.
Yeah. Then it also goes into mythology. It also goes into mythology, the story of Osiris, which is a Egyptian tale where this king got cut up by his brother Set, and then split across
the world. Yes. Oh,
yeah.
Okay. I see you're cooking now. I was confused at first, but now I see what you're cooking.
Yep. And then what happened to Osiris? He well, first he landed somewhere and turned into a giant tree. So if Nika, hypothetically, right? Maybe let's not even say it's Joyboy. Maybe it's Nika. Or if Nika is Joyboy, then it all ties together. But Nika gets killed by their brother Emu or something, hypothetically.
Yeah.
Gets thrown into the water, cursed by the sea, and gets turned into a giant tree that then creates devil fruits, is extracted from the tree, cut into a bunch of different pieces, then split up and sent across the world. And it's not, you know, it's a version of it, but it's different.
So that would make the Nika ability the first devil fruit then, in some sense. But
all things are born from Nika, the imagination fruit.
Oh man, see, I think we kind of have we have different takes on this one, because I'm actually more of the mindset of something more technologically grandiose, something a lot more sci-fi-esque. You're going the more theory, like fabled and god-esque, which I think is, you could argue they're one and the same. Maybe the gods were tech related too. Because I always have to wonder, why the hell are there pirates on the moon or excavators on the moon? Why is there a civilization on the moon that's so advanced they have automata like it's near? How?
Yeah, that's gotta tie in too.
Yeah, I think so too. I would actually like the idea that the different powers themselves, they were in conjunction, but I don't know if you need to have all of them per se to gain access to the One Piece. But I think it's a cool concept for sure. The idea of Emu being related to Nika, and I mean, because we know that Emu was the former king or former ruler of Nirona, or probably the Nirona family. That was it. Like that was this before in the Sabo Reverie chapters, Nirona. Yep. Mm-hmm. So, and Joyboy could have been maybe a member of Nirona too, or like maybe they were friends, maybe they were on the same ship. Some of that sort is possible. Before they became the ruler of Nirona, it's very, very possible. I like that idea a lot. I think it also makes sense too that Emu was the person that led to the defeat of the uber powerful ancient kingdom. Because these guys, according to Vegapunk saying, they're so advanced that what we're doing on Egghead Island, they could do easily. Like for them, it was a joke. And one thing that I think is, and this is where I think I really want to focus on Vegapunk's dream first in here, because I think it's super important. The idea of infinite energy. I think it's like unbelievably, astronomically important, because I think this wraps up everything nicely in terms of how is it possible. it's possible when it comes to being able to make devil fruits, when it comes to let's say have these crazy weapons in the sky that could destroy entire countries, or let's say quote unquote terraform the planet, as some folks are suggesting, is because they had infinite power. Literally had infinite power, or at least something close to that. And so if you have that, in hindsight, different powers working together. So you have the chop Wiccan power. Let's say it's let's say even back then, it's easier to Wiccan your abilities, because the abilities you're creating, they're on the spot, or not even myself, but like they're made very recently, and you have more insight on how to use your powers because everyone is so advanced. Like over here, like remember how in the East Blue they were myths. Like different powers. What? You have different powers? Like that's so rare to have a different ability. But awakening your power is still relatively hard to do. So what if it was easier to do that in the past, and then you had the chop, the mera, the Kuma's ability, the paw, they all work together to try and help each other in meaningful ways, maybe like peaceful ways at that point in time, to help establish for the betterment of like world peace and that kind of stuff, But then when they had to fight against the other kingdoms, they came together for a period of time to fight off against them. They lost for whatever reason, and then they used their powers to try and conduct some sort of plan. I do like that for sure. But at the same time, I think it has to stem off of the fact that they could do this because in their day and age, they were so damn advanced that it was easy to do those things compared to what it is now. Because right now in the world, they're lagging behind. No one has anti-gravity tech flying around like across the planet. No one has that. Right? But back then, it was like a whole country full of Elon Musk. So that's what I'm thinking right now in terms of how can I take your concept and then kind of, because it is a cool concept for sure, but I don't know if Oro's want to do all the
one of the things that birthed that idea in the first place is like, if Luffy's going to be the king of the pirates, he's going to be the pirate king, right? That means that other pirates like have to fall in line with him. And it goes back to Mihawk saying like he's got the most dangerous ability on the seas because he can bring people to him. So if he's going to become the pirate king, like whether he wants it or not, like needs to be dishing out orders, and people need to be like, yes sirring him. And these need to be people that are not on the crew. So if he starts and ends up, dishing out orders or to former warlords and other pirate crews, like
of course
that feels like the highest progression that Luffy could achieve in the story. And if it becomes a thing where utilizing all of these abilities at the same time is what gets us something at the end, like this massive tag team finish, then it feels worth it that we were taught all of these abilities.
But remember too that I think we're talking about people that, let's say, are in locks with Luffy already. Buggy is kind of just because he's weird default dude. Like him and Luffy kind of already work out. We saw it in Impel Down. Boy Hancock loves Luffy. Like she'll be locked with him whenever.
She'll be there.
If Kuma dies and gets him to Vivi, or if he, let's say, just is there anyway and he's still alive for whatever reason, possible still, then he would still be also in locks with Luffy too. So there's no reason.
But we also need things like Moria's Kage, Doflamingo's Ito.
Oh, see, now we're just adding. What? Now we're just adding stuff.
Put shadows into the Poneglyphs. Who knows? Maybe we need to do that. Maybe you have to string them all together. Whenever we see the Poneglyphs, they've always got strings connecting them, right? So
what if the baseline is what if Luffy's dream at the end of it is ultimately what the main reason why he wants a pirate king? Well, we know why, because of all the Shanks stuff, and that he highlights Shanks, but also the idea of, hey, if we do have this global party, that's my theory, of course. I think it's like the most popular one. You have the global party after it's all said and done, where he's king of the pirates. After he finds One Piece treasure, only the pirate king could sway the world to have a global celebration and party. Only the king of the pirates could literally do that because they would have that much power and that much, that much notoriety. Like the peak notoriety. I don't know if you need to have the king of the pirates be the one to organize different users to do X, Y, Z, and the other, because like other rulers, Yonko could do that in theory, at least. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think you need Pirate King status for that. I'll keep it a stack. But I'm not against that idea. We just have to see, because it could all make sense.
I'm not saying it's something that we need. I'm just saying that like Luffy organizing and dishing out orders to, you know, like as if it was the Impel Down crew at Marineford, you know, like a 2.0, but that on steroids. You know, we need. I want something like that again.
I think we're gonna get that for sure, but I think it's gonna happen. I actually think we're gonna see that probably with this Grand Fleet. One of the options I always thought about was, if we're not gonna get the Davy Back Fight on Elbaf, I think the best spot would be Full-Head Island, the birthplace of the Davy Back Fight. I think that's it makes the most sense.
I don't want it against Blackbeard though. I don't see the purpose of a Davy Back Fight against Blackbeard anymore. There's nothing that he needs.
Really? Because
he's got
Luffy.
all of Luffy has to get something that Blackbeard doesn't have. And right now Blackbeard has the same amount of road poneglyphs that Luffy does, and potentially a person that can read the poneglyphs.
But he has the hostages. He has potentially Perona locked up, guaranteed Pudding locked up.
Nah, Perona and Moria are joining the Cross Guild, guarantee you. Perona and Moria got out of there, and they definitely survived, and they got away. They're going to Empty Bluffs. Moria is going to join the Cross Guild because he was there, just like the other three of them, at Roger's execution.
Okay,
and
I'm cool with that. But even still, though, you still have Garp on ice, and then you have Pudding.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, Garp, Luffy, Pudding, Sanji. I think that just has to be, maybe again.
Then I buy it if Luffy organizes it. Like if Luffy pulls the 3 coins out and says, "Hey, we only need to win. If we win 2 of these games, we'll be able to get Garp and Pudding back. So let's do that." There's a fun way to do it, but I mean, I still would rather have the Davy Back Fight be against a group of circus.
So then it could be just
people.
all-out war. It could be then just all-out war with let's say his men, his Grand Fleet versus Blackbeard and his boys. Because at some point, because I don't know how we're gonna have, but at some point we have to have the whole BB and Shanks thing go down. Whatever happens there's gonna happen there. Whether it's gonna be an actual fight, whether it's gonna be a clash, who the hell knows? And then we have to have at some point Luffy and Shanks. But when it's gonna be, I don't know. But it could be before the final war. It could be the final battle. It even could be the final battle. BB could be the final battle. There's so many options there. Honestly, I think a lot of the end game of the story changes because of the Black Pearl. I just can't get over it. I think the Black Pearl is way too important. Because Oda, it grants him so much time to get other things done without touching the One Piece. Like it's insane. If you just have this random dude sailing across the New World with the Poneglyph, it allows for so much freedom. I mean, even though Oda says I'm gonna end this decade, whatever. That's Cap.
I think it'll end.
Yo, the One Piece never ends. But it could literally allow us to go to Lodestar and find out why Lodestar. If Lodestar, because it may not have any ties to One Piece itself, but it could have a connection to the Rio Poneglyph, right? Like it could hit other dream stuff too, like with Robin. In theory.
One Piece.
And it's like not. It won't be like a long arc. It'll be like a short, like 10, not even like let's say 5 chapters. Pass by Lodestar. What's over here? Its ties to, let's say, the Ancient Kingdom, maybe the Rio Poneglyph, stuff like that. Honestly, what's the Black Pearl? What do you mean? You know what the Black Pearl is, bro? Watch Pirates of the Caribbean, bro. Pirates of the Caribbean, Black Pearl. It's the ship that they talk about where the in the Blackbeard in the Aokiji flashback, where the man with the burn scar, essentially, the man with the burn scar. We have to find the man with the burn scar. Who is the man with the burn scar? They're on the Black Pearl potentially. They're on that all black ship. So that's the real kicker right there. Man, Randy has some nutty theories, bro. He does. They're out there. I like him though. I do. But there's one last thing to touch upon. And actually, do we have to do it again? We talked before. But how does this tie to the O'Hara Globe? Everything ties to the O'Hara Globe. I don't care.
Like all of the moons and stuff?
Yes. 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 Norse mythology. You have the different realms. Helheim, Niflheim, Muspelheim, Jotunheim, Mjolnir, Asgard. Different planets across the entire solar system, allegedly. Mars, Saturn, Venus, Juro, Jupiter.
Which I like that in that same thing where people were talking about what stone Saturn is sapphire, Venus is diamond. So
yes, yeah, I love it, bro.
Let's cut diamond. That's Zoro's opponent anyway.
Venus is Venus Juro Diamond. Ooh.
So I think
Zoro's opponent after Miyog?
Yeah. Yep.
We'll see. Going
into that as the world's greatest swordsman, I'd love that. And then he cuts Diamond, and then he beats him, and he just says, "What a waste."
Wait, Venus is metal, not diamond. Am I crazy?
On that, the stone that is related to it is diamond on a is the actual, not the Confucian thing that I sent you.
Okay.
But the stone that it is, the planet is known for, whatever, is actually diamond.
Okay.
According to that, Venus Juros should be some sort of demon dog. So some sort of diamond demon dog is what Zoro's last opponent could be.
So, the one thing I will say too, and no. Let me just plug this, okay? If Oda really wants to go heavy and hard, because I know Oda's a big Star Wars fan, if Oda really wanted to go as hard as possible, like the hardest he could go, he would live up to what we see in the O'Hara Globe. And Venus, Marcus Mars, Topman, all these cats are actually people that tie to other worlds, potentially. And the biggest theory I'd have is that, and I need to sit down, I need to organize my thoughts and get to it. I have to. Because a lot of times I'm too scatterbrained. The idea ultimately would be that the planet is man-made. Now, that's kind of crazy. But at the same time, aliens, Skypeans, Baricans, Shondians first were on the moon. Why? There are space pirates on the moon. Why? What's going on there? One thing that's very interesting too is the idea that that all of these people, the Gorosei, all their
kingdom was on the moon.
Maybe not on the moon, but the red line itself is. I'll say it's a clear man-made structure. That's not natural. I don't care what no one says. But the idea is that maybe not on the moon per se, but it would, let's say, be a place that could travel. There's an idea that I think is hella cool. Remember how you had, what was it? It was Iceberg and the shipwrights had the idea of making the entire island of Water 7 into a bona fide ship, so they could actually survive the Aqua Laguna. That, yeah. So I feel like this concept is a concept where, and me and Par, we talked about this. It's so, it's radical. I forgot who the quote comes from, but it comes from the idea that in a way, the world or the planet is our ship through space. Space is the ocean. So, and then this ties to the idea of how Imu could be related to Umi, the water goddess, and how Imu is essentially like the god of the world. That's what they say on the True Throne. But they're more like quote unquote demons-ish. But Saturn and the Diamond Demon Dog, Venus Juro, and the Jupiter, whatever the hell, wood demon ape, yeah, right. All of them would be people that originate not just from this world, but from other worlds. That'd be the idea. And that's why, and that's why they're hated by the sea, because they are unnatural in some ways. All right. I mean, Vegapunk already kind of.
Let me see those Neil deGrasse Tysons in the chat, guys.
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready, yo. Like, I need to sit like right now. Listen, man, because there's so much to kind of sort through and kind of roll through for a video like this. It's gonna be robust. Like, you know how like when you theory craft, you have to just like, yo, I need to take like 5 hours. Just give me 5 hours to go through Wikipedia, to like roll through all this stuff, make sure what I'm saying makes sense. I have to go back to chapters, what the Oda's comments. Like, when Oda talks to the director of Film Red and says, we can go to space and everything's A-okay, I'm like, fuck, please stop. Like, what do you just... It's like, bro, please. When you have the space themed stuff going on Egghead Island, it's like, dude, please. The fact that you have the you can relate a lot of the Vegapunks to also the satellite bodies. You can relate like the bodies that orbit a planet or the planets that orbit a solar system, a star. Brand, I can't. I'll be forever.
I mean, I do love the satellite connection, and we had everything with Vegapunk here, but it also ties to everything that Vegapunk is doing. Yes. Because he is researching the Poneglyphs, and the satellites call him the Stella, which is another way of saying Steely, which is a stone slab.
Yeah.
Hieroglyph.
Sure. Absolutely.
Like Oda's name game, like the etymology of everything that he does is so insane.
It really is, bro.
Hey guys, let's get these likes up, guys. We got.
Oh yeah, true. Guys, we have 160 viewers. I need to see at least 300 likes. Let's go. At them up. But oof, okay, so I think oh damn, it's 4 o'clock. Okay, because I need to bounce in a minute. Because I have things to do later tonight. But
no. I was gonna. Oh, we're already past the 2-hour mark, which is about when I like to.
Why do you nerf yourself, bro?
Why do I nerf my? Hey, I mean, we went for 3 last time, but I usually
did.
I try to keep it around 2, and we get carried away. Sure. We start, we start cooking. We can't. That's just.
We're trying to interconnect everything like humans do. Like we try and find like all the missing pieces of the puzzle and see what it all means. Yeah, true. That's true.
Yeah. And shout out to Duval for joining the channel.
Yep.
Just noticing that now.
So, what do you? I guess the one last question I'd have then right now is, let's circle all the way back here because we didn't really tackle it that much. Egghead Island right now, we're here. We have the Seraphim that are still doing their thing. Well, no, they're in bubbles right now. We have the focus on Jay. We have the focus on so on. Kuma's backstory. So, what do you think after come the end of this arc? What are your immediate predictions on the incident, and then how this impacts the world moving forward? Because they've said it quite a bit, like, yo, incident. What things happen after this?
I mean, if Kuma kills Saturn, that's incident worthy. If something related to what Blackbeard's crew does here, that's incident worthy. If Dragon pulls up, incident worthy. If Kuma's
that alone by itself,
pain. I mean, if they take down a bunch of 100 marine ships and everything, potentially. But what if there is no actual Leloucia event that we expect and Egghead is destroyed, but it's actually Kuma slaps everybody away, and then his pain, and he just drops the craziest Ursa shock that is essentially what happened to Leloucia and kills Saturn.
Filler bark times 20, and it's all pain. Like
all pain.
3 years of torture right here, dude. Taken.
Everything.
It's yours.
Everything is just demolished and gone.
Even Punk Records, and that's a big thing too. That's a big Punk Records. The power plant that they talked about before that makes the mother flame, that I think is like nuclear fusion related. That's a big deal, and all that's to be wiped out. I kind of feel more in line with kind of thinking more in line with the idea that Jay could probably die. I'm not sure he will die, but I think he could probably die for sure.
I would like it for the story. Especially if it is Kuma that does it, like then it feels warranted given everything that we've seen. If Saturn has to do something in the present, I would hope. I mean, realistically, it makes more sense if Saturn kills Kuma, but it's like,
yeah.
And then we have something to go into a fight with Saturn with. But Saturn has also done so much to Kuma, and I feel like he needs to die so that his fruit can...
Tragically,
yeah.
And then also, by the same time, Kuma has to get, I think, at least one W on Saturn, because I think it'd be too tragic for him to at least get revenge on him. But I think what also has to happen is, and I like the idea of Kuma taking out Luffy's pain a lot. I like that a lot. Because I need to see Luffy punch Saturn. I have to see, I think it'd be fitting, because Bonnie... Kuma talking about the Nika, the drums liberation, seeing
they both need to see him in action.
Yeah. I think that would be like a pivotal, quintessential moment for those characters. I don't think she's gonna join the crew. She may.
She could. I think she will join up with the Revolutionary Army. So she'll be with us until she can go with them.
I agree. That's way better. But also, I think when you have the idea of that. If Imu is controlling the Gorosei, this is the theory, but Imu is the one that controls the Gorosei, and that's why they're powerful, directly. So Imu kind of phases into phase into their bodies, and that's why Imu or Saturn say it's been a long time since I came down or came up to the surface. Because it's Imu coming to the surface, and it's been a long time since Imu, since 800 years ago, since Nirona, those days, the Void Century days. And if Imu is the one doing that, and if Imu fights against Saturn, against Luffy, I think this could be happening. We'll get a reference to that, directly, happening in the next 15 chapters.
Imu on Egghead in some sort of form. I mean,
yes.
we need to. It's good to set it up in a way, but
establish all the top tiers now.
But they were so against the world knowing that they exist. Would they do that? Would they?
Because it's not them directly. It's them through a conduit. All right.
Okay, all right. So Luffy goes up against some sort of shadowy being and gets completely demolished, and then Sabo is the one that explains who it is.
In a way, because I don't think Sabo would know. I think it'd be a secret kept by maybe the God Knights, but also the Gorosei themselves and Imu. Where I forgot. I was talking to someone in yesterday, or no, on Friday when we were out for Anime NYC. I think it was Dak. But the idea was, and I didn't catch this either, but before Jay teleports in, Jay falls asleep. Now this I have to check, but Jay falls asleep before they teleport in as the Uchioni form, before they pull up in on Egghead Island itself. And if that's the case, if Jay fell asleep, actually passed out, and then they arrive with a magical demon-like circle.
Then whatever Kuma does to this wouldn't even affect Saturn because it's a...
No, Saturn would die. Because Saturn, I think, like, how do you say it?
Yeah,
like,
you're saying that their body is still on the ship.
No.
And that they
their
just
body
like
is...
they just astral projected over here or something through the...
Imu astral projected into Saturn's body, kind of in a similar way to how Ryzen entered Yusuke Urameshi's body, and then Imu would be controlling Saturn's body, making Saturn as powerful as he is, and then giving them all the demonic energy sauce, all the black lightning, all that stuff, and then that's why Imu says been a long. So like they're sharing the same body, but there's two souls in one body. Kind of like you have Blackbeard have that theory of there's multiple souls of his body. That's why he doesn't, he never falls asleep. Because there's multiple souls in his body. And Oda loves soul stuff. He loves soul stuff. So if Imu could, in a similar way to what Brook does, have his soul transfer and possess Saturn, but Saturn's still there conscious, I'd say make it work out.
That's
wild. To make it work out. Yeah, it's a wild theory, but I think it's because what it does that it establishes Imu as a more relevant threat. In terms of Imu can move away, like not necessarily be there, but have Gorosei be more active in the world and be a lot more dangerous. Because even though Dragon hypes up the God Knights, I mean, right now the God Knights is, like Garling is our stud. After that, we have to wait and see. But
right.
Yeah, Garling is a sauce. The rest of it, but I think the Gorosei could be. I think the term is like the thralls. I remember that's what my Twitch guy said. They're thralls. I think it was Asil, and they're being controlled by a mother or some sort of a higher order entity.
I do love that Oda introduced the God's Knights though, because
absolutely.
It's like essentially the God's Knights will fill the role that I expected for CP0. I was like, we need some people that are strong when we get to Marijoa to kind of like be the guard dogs for Gorosei and everything for the extended cast to get good fights, and that opens an opportunity for the Holy Knights to be that. But
keep in mind when you say that, when you say that though, that means that they're not as powerful as like folks want them to be. Like some folks want them to be like all admiral guys, like literally, they're all like Kizaru,
and they might be. Because if we don't know. I mean, maybe look, I think that if we're going to have one-on-ones in Marijoa or something, and we're going to be going up against a bunch of people, like, that's got to be hard fights for everybody. If we're going to go up against the Gorosei and Imu, and then, I would say that but
like a Robin fight in the future, or like a Frankie fight in the future, could be a God Knight.
God Knight, yeah, exactly.
That... animals are a bit too much, I would say.
They're putting some gas on Garling, so maybe he is.
I think he's the sauce maker. I think he's the creamy. He's the savage. Yeah, that's right. He's the savage of the God Knights. I don't know the rest of them. That's what you say.
Yeah, there's got to be some clowns in there. Usopp's got to get a fight and stuff like that too. But it's just. Yeah. Now we'll eventually have something interesting for everybody to do when we get there also. And there'll be characters that we're not expecting that'll also be able to fight some of these God Knights as well.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I think that, if anything, because I think that at some point we have to have the God Knights also be involved with, because they're targeting Sabo. Dragon makes that line of, they want Sabo because of what he did with the Holy Land. And I think that Sabo may be involved with the God Knights, but or he probably will be, but also Dragon himself, and also a Kainu has to be, who's also in the whole land too at this point in time. He just sits up there like an asshole, or at least there, or Marine headquarters in the New World. They have to also be wrapped up in like the same sort of situation, and that I'm not sure if that could lead to the sinking of the Red Line, or that happens at the end and. When we find the One Piece and like there's some sort of like switch and it all goes down, but who knows? I
want to know your thoughts on the the little bit of God Valley that we got. Now that we're talking about Garling and everything like that, like what have any with this little bit of God Valley, have any of your thoughts and feelings towards God Valley, like changed, or any new ideas come out about it?
So, I've been of the mindset for this for a while personally, and I think God Valley Fight would kind of solidify what I'm thinking about right now. I think that the God Knights themselves, because there's a question about who they are. Like, why do they have the power to even condemn and punish other celestial dragons, which is very interesting. There were two takes that I heard the most, but, well, not maybe two, but there are a few takes I heard a lot. One of them was the idea that, there were people that were worthy contenders in, like, the lesser world. They came up into the Holy Land. They wanted to be in God Knights. They were trusted by the Gorosei. But I'm of the mindset that they're the highest ranking people, or very prominent people, among the 10 Yubito families. That's something that's never really talked about a lot. There should be 19 families that make up the 10 Yubito, the Celestial Dragons in the Holy Land. We already know about the Rosewall family. We know about the Don Quixote family. We know about
Nefertari family. But they left.
Yeah. So
I would say in theory, if Cobra was at Marijoa, he would be a God Knight, because he's at the top of the Nefertari family. If that's what we're saying, like, then
yes.
it would basically be if Figureland had a land, had their own island, he would be king. And it's because he would be king of his own island that he is a holy knight of, that is presiding over the...
Yeah, either that, or like they're the strongest members, or like they have done something particular among the Holy Land, like whatever it is, because they also have the ability to, they don't need to wear the bubbles. Like other ones do, but they don't have to wear bubbles when they go down to the lesser world, like the Gorosei. And one of them in the flashback, they mentioned something called the Menmayer family. And it was a girl with like a hat on with a gun. So I'm thinking now that's very much the case, where they're the best members of the families in whatever regards it is. And then Garling is like the cream of the crop. And I'm thinking that's, so I'm not too sure if that's, because that probably ties to Shanks some way. Shanks in the film Red is alluded to being a Figureland family member. Was he actually won the chest in the tournament? Probably. Did he sneak in later, or was he there from the jump? We have to, who knows, right? But I think
he's only 1 year old at this time, so.
True, but I think it's set in the film Red, in the volume 4 billion, that he was found in a chest, the same way Uta was found in a chest. That's what they say in the volume 4 billion. So I could
whatever happens at the end of God Valley. I mean, according to volume 4 billion, which there's already been a retcon because like
the mustache,
exactly.
Yeah, the mustache. Yeah.
But Roger and his crew get away with, the riches and everything that
a lot of them,
and everything we're after. We still haven't seen Zebek, but I think that there's a lot of interesting opportunities to still get into when we, get the full thing, and we'll get the full thing from Garp.
Yes.
Garp
or Big Mom.
I would be okay with that too, because I do still want Big Mom to be alive. And
absolutely.
The interesting thing to me is that there are so many figures in the world that could have been there. And like the most surprising of all was that we got confirmation that Gloriosa was a member.
Was
of Rock.
there?
Like that was the biggest thing for me, because I was drinking the Shaki Kool-Aid.
Yeah. I don't. So is there really an Empress that's missing? Because there's
there is.
Okay, so there's one that's missing, one that died of love allegedly.
Gloriosa, Shaki, unknown, Boa.
Yeah. Okay. Because I figured that Gloriosa was the one. I figured that she was talking about Shaki, and she quote unquote died, but she like disappeared. That was the idea. Because I thought it was kind of similar to say like in Naruto, third Hokage, fourth Hokage dies, the third has to come out of retirement and take up the mantle again. So Shaki leaves. Gloriosa's already retired, but she has to lead the country again while Shaki is like off country. However, yeah, there could be another one we just haven't seen yet, and who that is, I mean,
Oda's holding on to it, but that's the hierarchy of Amazon Lily, and that whoever that missing empress is will probably end up being important. People are saying Luffy's mom, whatever.
Mother.
It's we'll see.
When the Ganax Luffy's mom or something, I'm like, bro, I don't know.
Which it is crazy that now Bonnie is half Celestial Dragon.
Yes, yes, and which explains a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
When it comes to like why they cared so much about her safety and well-being, yeah, because she's half Celestial Dragon. Like, oh damn. If she's Saturn's kid, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We're adding more glaze to what we need to see. But the 100%. I want to see other characters. Like if this is gonna be such a huge deal for the world, whether I'm right or wrong, I don't care. But I would love for like Crocodile to have been there. 8-year-old Crocodile.
That's
in some way or another, like he sees this and he's and then Ivankov is already there, so something related to God Valley is the secret. 6-year-old Mihawk, if is there something tying them to God Valley from way back when, which is informing why they're a part of the Cross Guild now, because they knew each other as kids. Moria is legitimately from the West Blue. So, and we know that, God Valley was, that Thriller Bark was an island that left the West Blue and became a ship. Now, that's not saying that God Valley is Thriller Bark, but at some point or another, like, Moria went after and found Captain John's corpse, Silver Axe's corpse.
Yes.
Other members of the Rocks Pirates that we can now go back and say are general zombies.
But as far as you know from the Odin flashback, the crew, after Rocks died, they disbanded. Not like, okay, well, Captain John died there too, as well as Silver Axe, like that big guy, I guess, right? Yeah. As far as you know, just.
But it Rocks would be. I mean, I think there's something that says that Captain John it made it out of God Valley. But like some of these guys dying at God Valley is interesting to me. Like that's.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. They should let's really up the stake.
Like,
exactly, that's stuff I want to know. A really fun one that I want to see is Hiraluk. Hiraluk was a thief that operated in the West Blue, and would be like 30 years old at this time. Now, not to say he's a member of Rocks, but But if this whole thing was a transmission sent up by Ginny that there was going to be something to steal,
and they all pulled up,
then Hiraluk being his own separate faction there trying to steal everything would be crazy. Yeah. And if he's seeing all of these dudes like really then it informs what he tells Chopper, like, yo, let me tell you about pirates, man.
It does, yeah. It reminds me of the idea of like people, and I still I wish it happened too, but it reminds me of the idea that Zeph was actually a member of the Rocks pirate crew.
He was like the cook. I'd love that too. Bro. Like if he was the cook. If Correja was a doctor on the Rocks pirates, like let's just gas it up.
Connect them all to Rocks, and then Rocks is like an actual Giga Chad phenom where he's like, yeah, bro, listen, my crew, you have no idea how like he was the one that spawned up all these amazing legends across the entire world. Rocks.
Because he had the most dangerous power on these seas. Yeah. He was able to. But I think it's Ocean's 11. He's Danny Ocean. He's Frank Sinatra. He's George Clooney. He's his own pirate. He's got his own people. But it's like, hey, I'm doing this big job. I could go by myself, but I could also split it with all you guys. You want to get in on this? We're going over there. We know that the Celestial Dragons are going to be there. We all got beef. I want to take down the world government. You guys in? Because Big Mom says to Kaido, oh, it's your first time working with Rocks, implying that it's a contract, like you work and then you split off.
I mean, they say before that they always fight each other, and we see with Shiki and Viper, like they're not on the same page at all. Like on some Zoro Sanji shit, like they don't like, no, dude, like what? Right. No, screw you.
Exactly. He's just there for the bread, so he can give it back to
exactly
Sphinx.
But also, I think that, and man, I think one of the best chances he has to really. I think the best chance to really tackle that flashback, you have two flashbacks of Rocks Pirates. You can have the pre-God Valley Rocks, which you can tackle with Big Mom if she's still alive. You can have the during and post God Valley rocks, which would involve Garp in the future. So you don't necessarily have to have one big one. You can have two separate ones, one in Elbaf and the other one, let's say, after Elbaf with Garp and, whatever happens with Garp. Let's say, I don't know, Hachinoso Raid, some of that sort, right? So I think that'd be a really cool different way to do that, for sure. And because once we get Rocks, it's like, unless Rocks himself is alive, like people think that he's alive, and that kind of ties to maybe the whole Blackbeard wanted Boa's ability to unpetrify Rocks, and then Rocks would still be active in some, like he's in one of Emu's hidden chambers, or Emu himself is Rocks, whatever, how you want to proceed, or how you want to slice it, right? Rocks is like one of the biggest keystones for the final saga. He
really is.
Yeah, it's
and
crazy.
I still don't think that he is like super amazing evil. Like, I think this dude is, he may not be good, but he may be like chaotic good.
Yeah,
like
possible. Yeah,
like he's there for the the bread and everything, but he may also be there because he wants to take down the government. And yeah. I would love if he knows things, like say he's Lunarian and that's why his flag has a burning skull on it or something.
I like that.
Like he is from an oppressed race that has a vendetta against the world government in the first place. So
maybe involving his treasure that was stolen. Like what was the treasure that was stolen? Like how he was able, he moved miles for that. He mobilized the whole crew for that treasure that was stolen.
If he knows things about the One Piece, or he knows things about the end game or something, or could read poneglyphs, anything, whatever, it doesn't matter. I want Roger and Garp to get something out of God Valley that propels him, because Roger didn't start looking for the poneglyphs until after God Valley. Did he learn something at God Valley? Like, that was like, oh wait, damn, like, I should actually probably do this.
I think I learned something in I thought that it was what was it? Lodestar. Like the key was Lodestar. Or I guess you mean like the idea of the last island he learned about in God Valley, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah. So actually how to get there, he had to figure that out in Lodestar though. Like, okay, after Lodestar you find out something particularly, then you have to readjust.
But as Rox is dying or something, like he gives Roger this thing that makes him realize like, oh, I've been going about this the entire wrong way. And Garp realizes, like, oh wait, I'm on the wrong team. Something, and then that changes and colors how he views celestial dragons.
I would think the cleansings every other year would be enough.
I mean, it should be enough, but I mean, like, if I don't know.
Yo, Garp, man, Garp, not looking so good there, bro. All right, but listen, man, I need to head out.
All right, yeah, my bad, bro.
Yeah. No, it's good. It's good.
Last super chat here is from Vasil Vlad Ivanovici. What if Kuma will be a real tyrant, but only because world government leveraged Bonnie's cure? He will torture his people, but take on himself that pain. So my thoughts with that is that we're going to get further into this flashback, and Kuma is going to end up getting the Sapphire disease. And the reason that he becomes a robot is because he starts working with Vegapunk to replace all of the areas where the sapphire scales
go over his body
with cybernetic parts. And
then what about the golden piercing on Bonnie's cheek? You think that's gonna that's not it? You think that's like that suppressed the sapphire? That's the theory?
I mean, I haven't heard that, but my thing is that
really?
My out there theory is that Bonnie is a clone of herself, that the real Bonnie dies. She dies of the disease. Kuma goes on a rampage, he has her memories. Vegapunk, using his technology, clones Bonnie, gives him back his daughter, but he doesn't, like in Chopper's flashback, he doesn't want her to think that she killed him, so he stays away from her and then ends up like turning himself into a robot so that her disease never kills him in the same way. Like, your mushroom won't kill me, Chopper. That's what I'm expecting from the rest of this.
Bro, you want maximum pain, bro.
Maximum pain, bro. Maximum pain, bro. Let's get it.
Like, people are going to be like, people at the end of this are going to be comparing Kuma to Guts. Like, dude. Like, please.
Maximum pain, bro.
Holy
But the chapter where Stussy was introduced, right, as a clone, starts with a narration of talking about a successful clone.
Yes.
But the bait and switch of that is after that narration box, we see child Bonnie. Which is like, is totally just saying to me, like, he's talking about her, and the deflection is that you think it's about Stussy. No, there was another clone. Stussy was the first successful one. But Bonnie maybe is considered a failure because she also has pink hair. Watch, we get the anime. Ginny and young Bonnie don't even have pink hair.
That'd be some shit. Okay, that'd be some yeah, okay.
Dawn Night 1993, this has been an amazing stream, amazing guest with Cole, and amazing host with Captain Randy.
Hey, good stuff.
Appreciate that, guys. So we're gonna end this. Right. Drop some thank yous for Cole in the chat here. Let's thank our guests for coming back. This was another banger.
Another 2-hour plus masterpiece, I would say, without a doubt. Make sure, hey, appreciate you guys over here in the Savage community or on the Randy Troy Pirate crew.
Anything you want the people to check out.
I want them to click the like button, bro. I want to see 300 likes. I need to see 300 likes now, like ASAP. Like y'all be slacking today.
You heard the man. Get these likes up. What are you doing?
I want to see a 3. I want to see a 3, not a 2. Get them likes up.
For as many people have been in here.
Yeah, and then people have been. Right,
come on, 4 more likes. 4 more likes, guys.
There it is.
All right, now we're okay. Like spike.
Now
we got it. We got it. Now we can end the stream.
Yes, exactly. Now we're good. All right.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, I would say just check out my content as per usual on the King Lightning channel. I have a bunch of other channels too, reaction channel, streaming channel where I do various content. But if you can, just check out the main channel for sure, where we keep on doing that content for the discussions, the theories, the power scale, always the power scale. Yeah, always the power scale. I got a few of those coming for sure. But on that note, it's been an excellent stream. Randy got the mind jogging, so I need to do a few more theory videos. I need to talk about, well,
I got you on the Abacus gang now,
the legendary Bika, baby. The legendary Bika. Let's go. All right, but yeah, I'm good to go, bro. Great stream. Good time talking to you.
Here comes the credits. Later, guys. We'll be back here for 10.99 on Sunday.
I've been swimming deep, deep. Savage.